All right. Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, McGraw.
So I went to a smoke shop only to discover it had been replaced by an apparel store.
Wait a minute. You went to a smoke shop and it was replaced by an apparel store?
Yeah. Clothes, but no cigar.
Clothes, but no cigar. See how you did that? It's close, but no cigar, but it's clothes and no cigar. 6 years ago today.
Aw.
Emerson was born.
Oh.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. She's sound asleep. She's not waking up to hear Daddy wish her happy birthday on the radio. 6 years ago, man. Boom.
Yeah, right.
Poof.
6 going on 30.
Well, it's just, poof, 6 years, done. Like, where'd they go? What happened to the, I keep telling her, well, okay, 6 is enough. There's no more. Daddy, 7 is next year. No, 6 is fine. You don't need to get any older.
God, and when you're a kid, time just goes by so slowly.
It's so true.
And it's like, what?
It's so true because your reference is 1 year is 1/6 of your life.
Right.
1 year when you're 60 is 1/60th of your life.
I know. I get so annoyed at my dad for forgetting stuff or forgetting the story. I'm like, well, that's right. He's got 76 years worth of stuff downloaded.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Of course you're going to forget something.
It's crazy. But yeah, no, God, happy birthday. Changed my life forever. So, all right. Coming up on the show today, let's see what we got here today. Oh, did you know that Carl the intern, his title, not his name. No, his name, not his title, right? Carl the intern, that's his name, not his title. Did you know at one point in his radio career, he had an intern?
Several.
Well,
so they were Carl the intern's intern.
The intern's intern. I like that. And I don't know if you knew this. My very first gig in radio was Jamie Lambert's production intern. And Jamie Lambert is our current imaging director.
So he's the one to blame for all this.
Absolutely. Huh. Yeah.
I didn't think he was that old, or I didn't think you were that young.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
What was he, 16 when you became his intern?
I know.
Was he 8? All right.
One of my interns is still in radio.
Yeah, I was going to say still an intern.
No, she's not.
Under Carl's tutelage.
You go anywhere in this town with Carl, and the women swoon to him. I mean, it is like
I don't know why.
He's Brad Pitt, but not looking like Brad Pitt. I mean, the man. Every beautiful woman in every room just gravitates towards Carl the intern.
Because he's got the concert tickets.
So just stand around Carl, and the women just swoon to him, and you can pick up the scraps. It's amazing. The man's got the Kavorka. I mean, I don't know what it is. All right, Karen Travers is going to be joining us. The bombing has stopped, and believe it or not, there is some movement. They are saying that they actually are talking and getting results with Iran and the United States. Karen Travers has got that in about 30 minutes. Jim Ryan has got the story of drop in homicides to the lowest point in 100 years. Woo. They don't even put down the phone to pick up a gun, apparently. See what it did there?
Yeah.
Jim Ryan's got that story. Peter Harlambous has an odd story today. Normally he's the lawyer guy. He has a story. They're auctioning off some of Colonel Sanders'
chicken
memorabilia. Yeah.
So I love that. And did you know that only like 2 people in the entire in the universe know the original recipe of 11 herbs and spices? Only 2 people.
It's got to be written down somewhere.
I think it's in a vault.
So artificial intelligence, OpenAI, and who else?
Right. Alexa.
I went to KFC about 6 months ago for the first time in about
4 days,
95 years.
Yeah, right.
I used to go there all the time in college.
Mashed potatoes still great?
Mashed potatoes were
Always.
good. Gravies were good. Mashed potatoes, they were okay. But the fried chicken, oh man, the fried chicken was great.
You know, Colonel Sanders was riffraff. Like he was like a gas station owner and like I think he like shot and killed somebody who was whatever, and then developed this selling chicken in Kentucky.
Really? So it's a great rags to riches story.
I'm blown. Yeah, like remember it's the men who made America.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now it's the food that made, and it's fascinating. Henry Hines.
Yeah.
Colonel Sanders.
Oh, I got to see that. That pops up all the time.
It's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. The same people who did.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. Cool.
I think it's Campbell Scott narrating.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I don't mind a little. I wouldn't kick him out of bed for scrolling on Instagram.
For reading me the phone book.
That's interesting. You know, my family, my oldest sister, Linda, when we were living in Arizona, which was some of the bad years, she got a job at KFC. There's a brand new KFC. It doesn't exist there anymore. But she was working at KFC and would like bring home food for us. Like that's how we ate, was like the extra chicken. So you would come home and there was a bucket full of chicken. You're like, oh my goodness, food.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I always have a soft spot in my heart for KFC because they fed me. And we didn't pay. We didn't pay.
Right.
It was always like extra food after she brought it home, and yeah.
And then it was Kentucky Fried Chicken. They went to KFC.
Yeah, because fried apparently is bad. Apparently these people think fried is bad. I don't get that, but Mike DeBusky is going to join us Tech Tuesday. Bob Ramsey is going to talk a little sports. Antonio French is going to check in. Altair Traveling Cruises, and then Aaron Hedlund is a member of the White House Council of Economic Advisors. He is pro Amendment 5. So we're going to talk to him with 1 week to go before Election Day. And I said from the outset, I told both parties we would take as many people as they want to send us, pro or con. We'll put them on, and they can make the argument. And, I'll just ask the questions and shut up and let them answer and let the audience decide for themselves. So both sides have been sending us pros and cons. We've reached out to some who haven't responded. We've reached out to some who have responded. So don't blame me if you don't like our guests. We've asked them all, and they some like coming on, some don't like coming on. So God figure. All right, so we'll do that in the 9 o'clock hour, and then we'll go from there. So how about that? Captain Paul Kopsky is in the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Good morning, Captain Paul.
Good morning, McGraw. No problems on the roads right now. We just have a few construction notes. One westbound lane of 64 will be closed intermittently between McKnight and Vallis until 3 o'clock this afternoon. One westbound lane of 64 will be closed intermittently between 270 and Boone's Crossing until 3 this afternoon. And MoDOT is closing all lanes of 64 West at the 70 interchange, as well as the ramp from 70 East to 61 North. That's from 9 p.m. tonight until 5 a.m., and that will last through Thursday, each of those days. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st, for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking temperatures towards the lower 90s, but still a first alert weather day as some areas south of the St. Louis metro could look to climb up to 105 degrees for the feels like temperature. We'll see some isolated showers and storms as we head towards the afternoon hours. Look dry Wednesday, Thursday, temperatures back towards the mid to upper 80s. Then by Friday, increased chances for some scattered showers and storms that'll last through Saturday. Temperatures back towards the lower 80s. From the first alert for Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for Big 550 KTRS.
All right, I don't know if you guys have heard, but this Friday, the Westport Plaza's Family Movie Night is showing The Sandlot. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Face painting concessions start at 6, stage show starts at 7, and the movie starts at 7:45. The weather's supposed to be nice, so don't worry about that. Make arrangements. Bring a new unwrapped toy or a non-perishable item and get a free ticket to Disney's on Ice presents Find Your Hero. That's performing this September at the Chaffetz Arena. That's a free movie night this Friday night at Westport Plaza, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri, The Sandlot, right next to the Rawlings baseball store. Pretty sweet deal. 616 here, Big 550 KTRS. You know what else is a sweet deal? Appliance discounters. Listen to this. They got ding and dent appliances. They're going to save you some serious cash. Oftentimes I've found that the ding or the dent is in the back or the side, and you never even notice it, but you get serious cash off when you get a ding and dent appliance. Appliance Discounter's got a large selection of that. They have a large selection of everything because they're the largest family-run appliance dealer in St. Louis. They got 6 area locations, and they got same-as-cash financing, pick-up and drop-off. They've always got everything's a deal, but then they've got like a deal on top of a deal. Oftentimes, sometimes 60% off of select models, all makes and all name brands, and they've got all the warranties, all the factory rebates, pick up and drop off. If you need an appliance at some point, why would you go to a big box store? First of all, nobody works there anymore, so you'd be wandering the halls just looking for somebody. But more importantly, Appliance Discounters, you get the name brands, better pricing, better customer service, better overall experience, and you're keeping it local. TheApplianceDiscounters.com. 6 area locations. TheApplianceDiscounters.com.
Congress doesn't need more politicians. For nearly 30 years, Joan Von Dross dedicated her life to helping students learn, grow, and succeed. Now she's running for Congress. Healthcare costs, stronger public schools, and a more affordable future for Missouri families. Teachers solve problems. Politicians play politics.
I'm Joan Von Dross, Democrat from Missouri CD2, and I approve this message. Vote for me on August 4th.
Paid for by Von Dross for Congress.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Aluminum shapes the world around us, keeping our homes cool, our cars moving, and our supply chains humming. From their global headquarters in St. Louis, Metal Exchange has been helping to make it happen for over 50 years. But they're more than an aluminum company.
At their core, Metal Exchange takes a we before me approach by putting people first at work and in our community. That's why this month they're teaming up with Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis for Christmas in July, collecting toys and bringing joy to local families. Learn more about how Metal Exchange is impacting our world at metalexchange.com.
Celebrate America's 250th with Star Stripes and Savings at Byerly RV. All month long, purchase any RV and receive a $250 gift card. Plus, with our 2026 model blowout, it's the perfect time to find an RV that fits your family, your adventures, and your budget. Shop a great selection of travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes. Don't wait because the summer's almost over and prices may never be this low again. Celebrate freedom, adventure, and the open road at Byerly RV in Eureka.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil, one simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to Metamucil.com for more details.
Live from Studio 550, this is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
First of all, they don't make music like this anymore. Second of all, who sings this song?
Dr. Hook.
Oh yeah, Dr. Hook.
This is Yacht Rock.
Yeah, I've got a problem with Yacht Rock.
A problem?
Yeah, I can't stop listening to it. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
I mean, I'm driving down the street, I'm cranking up, Hall & Oates.
Yep. As
Yeah.
you should.
And like other cars are looking at me down the highway like, what kind of weirdo? On the big old truck listening to
Benny Mardones.
Radio and Jack and Jill, which
That was Ray Parker Jr.'s first band.
that is correct. Radio, RAYDIO, Ray D-O. Now, Jack snuck down the hill because he needed some love. Love he couldn't find from Jill. What do you think? Jack snuck down the hill. He needed love. Love he couldn't get from Jill.
Oh.
So they took a nursery rhyme and ruined it.
And blame Jill.
Like Little Red Riding Hood, always trying to do good, waited as long as he could. Is it right or is it wrong for Jack to carry on if you leave him home too long?
Oh, listen to those synthesizers.
I mean, that is like Beethoven. I mean, why can't you have a good Casio every now and then?
Oh, the Casio.
Right? What's wrong with a good little Casio?
Those things made magic.
I didn't know there was such a long intro on this song. I mean, there's nothing better than this. I mean, come on, you're right.
What a karaoke tune this would be. Can I do the backup?
Oh, my
I want to
goodness.
back up everybody.
Oh my goodness, you'd have the whole place rocking.
Right?
He's not dead.
So on YouTube and Facebook, they can only hear you guys and not the song.
Well, full disclosure,
shame on them.
I have never heard that song before.
You've never heard this song?
Never.
It's on Yacht Rock.
I have
all the
never
time.
heard that song before.
You've never heard Jack Stuck Down the Hill.
I admit it right here, right now.
Well, you know what? We feel like this is diversity, equity, and inclusion. You're exposing me to music.
Thank you.
I'm exposing you to music.
It's a big deal today.
And then their other hit is You Can't Change That.
Yeah. That's a good one, too.
That's fan- I
You
mean,
might
Yeah,
know
Ray
that
Parker Jr., was he, hey, get out of my dreams, get
No,
into my
Billy
car?
Ocean.
Billy Ocean.
Oh,
Ray
okay.
Parker Jr. was Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay.
Who
Yeah.
you gonna call?
Yeah. Ray Parker Jr.,
Fantastic.
solid. Absolutely solid.
I had no idea.
Yeah. This and England Dan and John Ford Coley, and I could be on a desert island.
Listen to the bass. I miss the yacht rock bass.
Yeah, Jack and Jill. Saturday night at Joe's, I might have to bust that out.
If you weren't the most popular cat there then, you will be now.
Yeah.
So if a record producer guy or record guy came up and offered you a suitcase full of cash to play that cut on the radio when you were a top 40 DJ, would you have been like,
First of all,
Done.
I'm not a top 40 DJ,
this is a hypothetical situation, McGraw.
and
Work with
you
me
don't
here.
have to pay me anything. I'm driving down the street cranking up. The best scene in Tommy Boy is when the two of them are driving down the street and they're cranking up to that Carpenter song.
Oh, promeso, it is true. It is true.
And the two of them are crying as they're singing the song. That's the best.
It's so good.
All right. What are we doing? Who knows?
Well, you know
Show's
that
off the
movie
rails.
Heartbreak Kid or whatever with Ben Stiller?
Yeah.
Not it's Heartbreakers or Heartbreak something.
Heartbreak Kid. Yeah.
Right?
He marries the girl and she's this perfect girl.
Blonde.
They get married and then all of a sudden she turns crazy. And
Malin Ackerman or something. Yeah, she's
then there's
real,
another girl on the beach and he falls for the other girl. And yeah.
yeah, very typical Ben Stiller. But there's a scene where they're driving and she's the passenger and she knows every single song on the radio. She's singing loud and proud to it, right? You know, and he's driving and he's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
and I'm going, "That's me all the time." So I must have been annoying like the fact that he's so annoyed. I was like, but I loved her. Like that whole scene.
You're
I was
what's
like,
so bad about that?
That is so fantastic, right? He hates it, and I was like,
why would you
that's
hate
my
that?
favorite, right? Like. Oh my
A
god!
little insight into Rose's world.
Well,
man.
I just would never. As soon as I saw that scene, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is."
Yeah.
I love this, but he hates it. And I was like, "Oh."
Yeah. Rose's boyfriends get the nickname Usain Bolt as they run away from her.
Heyo.
627 here, Big 550. KTRS. She just got that. That was a delayed reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they run away from me fast. Yes. Okay. Johnny Londoff Jr., they run away from Rose directly to Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. They need a car. They need a getaway car. Johnny Londoff Chevrolet's got that for you. Johnny Londoff. Londoffs have been selling cars in St. Louis for 85 years. And for 85 years, they've been making sure the customers are completely and utterly satisfied. Because if you're not, you do not want to meet the wrath of Mr. Londoff, right? He'll do everything humanly possible to make sure you are 1,000% satisfied with your vehicle, because it's not just a car to him. This is his life's work. This is his family's name is on every single car. So he wants to make sure you are satisfied. You got a great deal. And not only that, you tell everybody you know when you come back. So there's built-in incentives for Johnny Londoff to take care of you. Everybody at Johnny Londoff is where you go. So every time you walk in the door, it's preached from day one. Spotless showroom, spotless service department, spotless customer service. Everything we do is geared towards the customer. And that's why Johnny Londoff has been selling cars. And the name Londoff has been selling cars for 85 years. JL3 is moving his way up the ladder, starting off on the bottom rung, just like everybody else at Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. Here's the deal. Great pre-owned vehicles, great brand new Chevys. They got the Autoplex now with great late model SUVs. The service department doesn't matter if you didn't buy the car from Johnny Londoff. They'll come and service it. Doesn't matter if it's a Chevy. They'll service any make, any model, any year. Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. It all starts at londoff.com. So if you're looking for a brand new car, pre-owned car, Car Bravo, Johnny Londoff's got it. Drive right by all the other places, right to Johnny Londoff. Londoff.com. Together, let's drive. Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. St. Louis Classic Company traffic. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, the roads are looking good right now with no accidents or slow traffic. A couple of construction notes. One westbound lane of 64 will be closed intermittently between McKnight and Vallis until 3 o'clock this afternoon. And MoDOT is closing all lanes of 64 west at the 70 interchange, as well as the ramp from 70 east to northbound 61 from 9 p.m. until 5 a.m. each night through Thursday for road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st, for a free showing of The Sandlot, face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Viviano sponsors weather here on the Big 550 KTRS. Let's get to some weather for you because my brain is still fried from yesterday. Speaking of fried food, fried brain, man, it was brutal last night. Next level hot. High today of 92, so we're significantly less temperature-wise, but still humidity is crazy. Stray shower or thunderstorm possible overnight. Or later this afternoon, high of 92. 71 overnight tonight. Tomorrow, we get a little bit of a break. 88 tomorrow, and a break in the humidity as well. And then 88 on Thursday. And then this weekend, holy mackerel, we're looking at some rain and high of 80s this weekend. So how about them apples? Right now it's 82 degrees at 6:32. Back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
A magnitude 7.1 earthquake shook part of southern Japan today. Early reports indicate injuries, damage to infrastructure, and blackouts. Senator Lindsey Graham will be eulogized today during memorial services across Washington. Graham's remains will arrive at the U.S. Capitol, where the Republican served for more than 30 years. Later, a funeral service will be held at Washington National Cathedral. In local headlines, firefighters remain on the scene of a 2-alarm fire in the Central West End. This is at a 2-story commercial building along the 4500 block of Olive. No injuries have been reported. West Nile activity is being reported in DeSoto. The Jefferson County Department of Health says a batch of mosquitoes collected last week have tested positive for West Nile. 80 degrees. Time now is 6:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
Jill Farmer from Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer in St. Louis means your air conditioner basically clocks in with a full-time job. And if your AC is 15, 20, or maybe even 25 years old, it could be working a whole lot harder and costing you a whole lot more than it should. A newer, high-efficiency system from Premier Heating and Cooling can cut cooling costs dramatically compared to older units. In some homes, upgrading from a 20-year-old air conditioner to a modern, high-efficiency system can reduce energy use by 20 to 40%. And even a professional clean and check tune-up can improve efficiency, airflow, and help your system keep up during brutal heat waves. Add in a smart thermostat, and the Department of Energy says homeowners can save another 10% a year on heating and cooling costs. So before your old AC taps out during the hottest week of the summer, call the highly trained team at Premier Heating and Cooling. Financing options available. 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Hey, it's Julie Buck. Are you always struggling to find the perfect gift? Well, we have the solution for you. You can try a signature facial or a teen facial gift certificate. Have you heard about the Only Facial? They've got one in Clayton, De Pere, Creve Coeur, Frontenac, St. Charles, Sunset Hills, U-City, Columbia, and Springfield Mo, Edwardsville, Illinois, and now open in Webster Groves and coming soon to Cottleville. This is a top-rated facial spa that only does facials, and there are no upsells and no gratuities accepted. One price for everything, and that price is $125. The signature facial consists of several steps customized to your unique skin types and concerns. The Only Facial is the best thing going. So check them out online at theonlyfacial.com. And if you're an esthetician, they're hiring at The Only Facial. Find out more about all of it on their website. It's theonlyfacial.com.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
Travers, let's get right to it. The bombing has stopped, and apparently there is some movement with negotiations. What do we know?
Well, that's what the president says right now, that he says they're very deep in talks with Iran, that there is a new round of talks. He said it's very good. We'll see what happens. I think there's a good chance something could happen. Notably, again, Iran is denying there are any direct talks with the United States. They say they're not begging to get negotiations restarted. So it's a little bit unclear, I think, exactly where it stands at this point. The president's also sending some mixed messages on when he wants to see a deal. He had said yesterday in an interview that he won't give Iran much time, but then hours later he was on Air Force One talking to reporters, and he said he has a lot of patience. He has plenty of time, as he put it. So how long this potential pause right now in strikes plays out for the diplomacy track remains to be seen. But there is a pause. We haven't seen strikes in several days right now. And the president backed off his threat for an escalation, a major strike that he was considering late last week. And sources tell us that that decision came after he was briefed on an array of options of what he could do, but also briefed on the fact that there could be a further depletion of munitions stockpiles, which are, of course, needed to protect U.S. troops and allies in the region, and that Vice President J.D. Vance, who's been deeply involved in the diplomatic side of this, was pushing for a diplomatic solution to this.
Why don't they just go back to the original memorandum of understanding that they had, I don't know, 3 weeks ago or so?
Right. Yeah. And that was mid-June when that was signed, obviously with great fanfare, but the president declared that dead. The Iranians have also declared it dead. I mean, that was even just to reopen the strait. That was the whole point of that memo of understanding, a ceasefire deal to get the Strait of Hormuz reopened. The Iranians now have effectively closed it again. They are still insisting on having some control over it, or being able to charge service fees, which was not laid out in that memo of understanding. So there are just significant differences about how you get back to a point of having that as a free international waterway.
Yeah, what are they negotiating for? The nuclear materials, or to get back to the memorandum of understanding?
They haven't even gotten to that point. That was kind of the key thing. When they agreed to that memo of understanding in June, that was supposed to open up a 60-day negotiating window to start talking about the nuclear agreement. But immediately after signing that, there were issues. They were quibbling with the implementation of the memo of understanding, and it wasn't even clear that they had even gotten to the next phase, the complicated stuff, the nuclear material, the future of the nuclear program. And then, of course, within about two and a half weeks, the president declared that deal with the Iranians was dead.
Yeah. All right. We'll wait and see what happens. But as for now, the bombing has stopped, and apparently the talks have resumed.
That's what the president says. But clearly that the attacks after 13 consecutive nights, they are paused right now.
Karen Travers, ABC News at the White House. Thanks, Karen. 6:38 here, Big 550 KTRS. All right, stay right there. Jim Ryan's going to be joining us. A dramatic drop in homicides. How dramatic around the country? They are saying it is the lowest. Let me get the right stats here. The 2025 annual report on the Council of Crime Justice shows an 18% decline in homicide rates. It is the lowest in, they're saying, 100 years, if I have my stats right. So we'll get into that with Jim Ryan coming up here at 6:50. And then a little bit later on, we'll check in with Antonio French. Went to my mailbox yesterday.
All the way to the mailbox.
All the way to the mailbox.
At the end of your driveway?
And got a, looks like a 3-color, 2-color cardboard flyer. It's from Steve Hellman, who wants to be your county executive. No, wait a minute. Well, I'll tell you exactly where it's from.
St. Charles County Executive.
St. Charles County Executive. It is really, really small print here. Paid for by Common Sense STL PAC. Looks like Tom Patton, treasurer. Yeah, Common Sense STL PAC. Yeah. So obviously the PAC is not supporting Bill Eigel. But it says Bill Eigel used Trump's name to trick seniors and disabled veterans. And it has a picture of a veteran on the one side. Then on the other side, it has what looked like a fundraising message from Donald Trump was actually a trap from Bill Eigel designed to drain the bank accounts of senior citizens. Thankfully, Trump campaign exposed Eigel's scheme for the use in unauthorized deceptive tactics to trick seniors and disabled veterans out of their hard-earned dollars. Trump's team demanded that Eigel stop. If Bill Eigel will exploit MAGA to pick the pockets of our most vulnerable, how can we ever trust him as St. Charles County Executive? When it comes to the next county executive, we can't trust Bill Eigel. Vote by Tuesday, August 4th. That was an interesting story because Bill Eigel was using Donald Trump's name to fundraise for his own campaign, and the Trump administration told him to stop. This St. Charles County executive race is getting pretty heated. Bill Eigel, Steve Hellman, and Jason Law. But that's one of the big ones on the ballot this go-around in terms of elected officials. You've got, the amendments, but then you've got a couple of other primaries. But this St. Charles County executive race is pretty neck and neck. I can't get a sense of who's going to win. Driving around St. Charles, you see Steve Hellman signs, you see Bill Eigel signs, and then of course I don't know where this dropped, but I think this dropped in a lot of box offices yesterday. So we'll see if that moves the needle at all. But it's a heated campaign. All right, 6:42 here, Big 550 KTRS traffic, weather, all straight ahead. Outdoor living. Outdoor living is where you want to go to get your deck, fence, gazebo, pergola. Outdoor living, 314-996-3325. When they build the deck, they will put a 50-year warranty on that deck. Think about that for a second. 50 years from now is 2076. Emerson will be 76 years old, and the deck will still have a year left on its warranty. Think about that for a second. That is amazing. They can do that because they use metal framing, they use composite decking, and they wrap it all up, and lights and everything else, 50-year warranty. That's pretty good. They can do it because the wood today doesn't last the way metal does, right? Metal will last. The wood, the pressure-treated wood, just does not have the same properties as it had years ago. And so that's why the wood bows, warps, rots. That's why outdoor living doesn't do it. They don't. They just want to be done with it. They want to do it right. They want to be done with it and have you enjoy the deck for the rest of your day. So if you're looking for a deck and you're looking for a great deck, a deck that will add value to the home, and a deck you don't have to worry about, outdoor living is where it goes. Fencing, too. The showroom, Big Ben and I-44 in Kirkwood, 314-966-3325 or outdoorlivinginc.com. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw 30 East is slow between Ronning and 270 in Sunset Hills. A couple of construction notes. One westbound lane of 64 will be closed intermittently between McKnight and Boone's Crossing until 3 o'clock this afternoon. And MoDOT is closing all lanes of 64 West at the 70 interchange, as well as the ramp from 70 East to 61 North from 9 p.m. until 5 a.m. each night through Thursday for road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. The dangerous heat and humidity continues, but it's not as extreme. Tuesday, a high of 91, but the heat index again near 100. A little hotter to the south, a little cooler to the north. So the First Alert weather day will continue, but again, the heat's not as extreme. An isolated storm not out of the question Tuesday, but Wednesday we're dry with low humidity, mostly sunny, and a high of 88. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
If it's time to replace your windows and doors, choose Pella Windows and Doors of St. Louis. Pella's trusted local experts work in your area and within your budget. backed by the most preferred window and door brand by homeowners. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit Pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details. Study of homeowner perceptions of leading national brands. Study commissioned by Pella 2023.
Hi, I'm Robert Williams, owner of Auto Art on the Hill. If you own a classic car, Auto Art is your one-stop shop for repair, restoration, and maintenance. For over 35 years, we've helped car enthusiasts and collectors keep their vehicles looking great and running their best so they can drive them. We're also proud to be the home of the award-winning Throttle Squad Car Club. Classic cars are meant to be driven, and like any vehicles, they require regular maintenance. Our experts will help keep you and your classic on the road. Fall in love with your car again. Visit Auto Art at 5305 Northrop Avenue on the Hill, online at autoartstl.com.
Hi, it's Julie Buck to tell you about a trusted family business that I've been working with for years, Easter Fence and Deck. Chuck Easter and his family have been the go-to fence and deck company in the St. Louis area for more than 70 years. And when it comes to sunrooms, Easter Fence and Deck offers the top-of-the-line Better Living sunrooms that are absolutely spectacular. When it comes to fences, decks, and sunrooms, I would invite you to do what my family has done for years and trust the family-owned Easter Fence and Deck online at easterfence.com. It's Julie Buck here to tell you that the patio is open at Bishop's Post right next to Chesterfield Mall. Get your reservations in now and go to Bishop's Post. You will love it. Tell them Julie Buck sent you, bishopspost.com. Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
This is the McGraw Show.
$6.50 here, Big 550. KTRS. Jim Ryan joins us, ABC News national correspondent. Got an interesting story today about the drop in homicide rates. Jim Ryan, I thought it was so terrible out there, people didn't even want to leave the house. What are you telling me about these homicide rates?
That's why they're not getting killed, because they're not leaving the house. That explains it. With safety and shelter. I mean, yeah, this the Council on Criminal Justice every year compiles these numbers. They come in from police departments all over the country, and they look at various crime categories. And indeed, homicide is down, way down across the nation. Such that if you look back over history, the numbers are about where they were at the turn last century, around 1900. If you look at, and that's what I'm looking at right now, the homicide rate in 1900 was 6.4 persons murdered per 100,000 residents, 6.4 in the country. Right now, we're sitting at 4.0, which would be lower than that. So, yeah, I mean, of course, they've changed the way that they've categorized these numbers over the years, but statistically, I mean, people getting killed, it's less likely to happen now than it was in 1900, for heaven's sake.
What are the experts saying is the reason for this drop?
Hard to say. You know, this is all following a trend that began right after the pandemic. During the pandemic, we saw numbers go way up for all crime categories, including homicide. The economy was in the toilet. People were losing their jobs. People were working from home. In close quarters and getting furious at each other and killing each other. So, but since then, since people have gone back to work and things have opened up a bit, we've seen this number decline rapidly and dramatically, according to this council, the Council on Criminal Justice. So, yeah, no real explanation to nail it down one way or another. You talk to politicians, and they'll say, "Well, my party is responsible for this," or "That party is responsible for driving up the numbers." But if you look over that same chart, showing homicides going back to 1900. It's up and down across different, administrations, and it doesn't seem to matter who's in the White House.
Yeah, you mentioned these are homicides. Does do the stats have anything to do with some of the other major crimes?
Yeah, well, they do. I mean, if you look at St. Louis specifically, you're going to find that crime has dropped off. Overall crime dropped 16% compared to 2024. That's 2025 number. 5,700 incidents per 100,000 residents. That's crime altogether. The lowest count in homicides in St. Louis since 2013 at 140. So, yeah, across the board, the crime statistics are showing a decline in most cities. Austin, Texas is one notable exception. They've seen their homicide rate rise.
Yeah, that was my next question. Are there places outside of Austin that have risen, and are there other places that have seen much more dramatic decreases than others?
Well, San Francisco has seen a rise in its homicide rate. I talked to Seattle a few minutes ago. They had this horrific crime over the weekend, but their rate is going down as well. It seems to be bigger cities, smaller cities, and almost every U.S. town has seen some kind of decline.
Yeah. All right. Interesting. All right, Jim Wright, ABC News. Yeah. Thanks for checking in, Jim. Have a good day.
Right.
You got it. Speaking of Seattle, they had that shooting there, but. Did you see those people jump off the Space Needle?
Still haven't found them. Did
you see them? They climbed over the glass fence.
They paid for a ticket, and then they jumped over.
And then there's a glass fence. I don't know, it's 10 feet, 12 feet, and they climbed up, shimmied over the glass fence, right? The glass partition. I don't know if it's whatever, plexiglass, whatever, but they climbed over, and then they ran, looks like off a beam, and then did a somersault, and then dropped off the Space Needle, and then parachuted down. It's crazy.
Oh, but they landed and they ran.
They landed and ran away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of almost as crazy as the two people who shimmied up the Empire State Building onto the antenna.
Or the guy who shimmied up the arch and then died on the way down or something, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah, he tried to parachute off the arch, I believe.
But he was too close to the legs, and so he couldn't get enough air underneath the parachute, so he just slid.
Yeah, terrible. But I mean, the Empire State Building is on par with Philippe Petit, who walked over a high wire on the World Trade Center.
Man on a wire.
The guy shimmied up the radio tower and the television antenna on top of the Empire State Building. Him and his fiancée.
That's romantic.
I mean, when we were in New York when that happened, and they were like, "Get a load of this." I was like, "Well, yeah, okay, he didn't shimmy up." They're like, "No, to the top." I was like, "Well, not the antenna, dummy." And they're like, "No, look," and you're like, "Oh my God, they shimmied up the antenna." I get vertigo just looking at the pictures of it.
I wouldn't want to watch. I mean, the tightrope guy, was that what's his name from Third Rock or whatever?
Yeah,
right?
Gordon Jordan Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He did the.
He was in a River Runs Through It. He was a little kid in A River Runs Through It.
But he did the dramatic, the fictionalized version.
Right.
Of that.
He did a docudrama, but there was a documentary.
Man on Wire is the documentary, which is better.
Yeah.
See, because I just wouldn't want to watch that, in the sense that, like, I wouldn't, if. Hopefully he doesn't, but if they fall, would you want to witness somebody?
Well, you can't stop, but you can't help but stare at somebody who's walking across a wire in the World Trade Center. I mean, it was
horrifying.
It was just that movie. I can't imagine the documentary is any better than the movie, but the movie was fantastic. Robert Zemeckis, you're watching that movie and you're like, well, clearly that didn't happen. And then you like look at it and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that actually did happen. Where he's lying on his back looking at the birds. And then he gets up and he spins around and you're like, all right, now they're going too far. Now Hollywood's just, making a mockery of this. And then you look and you're like, oh my goodness, he really did do this.
Did you watch Fall 2 yet?
It isn't out yet.
Oh, it's
It
not.
isn't out yet. No, I got my tickets.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm dressing up as my favorite fall character. Fall 2.
Just show up as a
out
tower.
this fall.
So the movie is The Walk. That's what Jordan goes.
Okay, yeah.
Man on Wire won Academy Award for Best Documentary.
Oh, is that right? Okay, all right. Yeah, I think I thought he was fantastic in that movie.
Ben Kingsley's in
Ben
it. too?
Kingsley's in movie. Papa Giorgio. Wait, Papa Rudy.
Papa Rudy.
Papa Rudy.
Papa Rudy.
Papa Rudy is Ben Kingsley in the movie. That's the old timer who helps him, teaches him how to walk on a wire.
Oh man.
Papa Rudy. Different from Papa Giorgio, who was the fake personality of the kid from.
Where would you like us to send your car, Mr. Papa Giorgio? Ethan Embry. Yeah. It's great.
All right, there you go. 6:58 here, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul is in the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Good morning, Captain Paul.
Good morning, McGraw. 70 East is congested between Highway 47 in Warrenton to Wright City. 30 East is slow between Ronning and 270 in Sunset Hills. And 5570 West running slow from Illinois 111 to 203. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
82 degrees right now, and it feels like 82 degrees. We're headed up to 92 degrees, which is not good, but better than yesterday. Hazy, hot, and humid. No rain in the forecast, maybe a pop-up shower. Tonight, overnight, low of 72. Again, a stray thunderstorm. Tomorrow, we get a little bit of a reprieve, 88. But we get 88 on Thursday. This weekend, though, shaping up to be a pretty good weekend. They're calling for showers on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Temperatures in the upper 70s, low 80s for Friday and Saturday, though they are calling for quite a bit of rain on Friday and Saturday. Heck, I'll take the rain all day long, man. Don't drive by my house. My yard is an embarrassment. I'm hanging my head in shame. There's nothing I mean, it's not enough. I mean, I don't have $1,000 to pay my water bill to water the grass, man. It is brutal out there. So what do I say? It's 82 degrees right now here. Big 550 KTRS. Coming up next hour, Peter Harlambu's got the story of Colonel Sanders. They're auctioning off a piece of history. Colonel Sanders, some of the original, not the original recipe. Some of the items include a pressure cooker he used for the very first time. Yeah. How about, would you like to buy Colonel Sanders clip-on bow tie? How about a carving knife set? The butcher block from the original Kentucky Fried Chicken. Peter Harlambu's normally covers trials. Clearly has a love for Kentucky Fried Chicken. We'll find out more about that. Also, Antonio French is going to be here, talk a little local. Altair Travel and Cruises. And then we got a Pro Amendment 5 person coming up at 9 o'clock. So stay right there. It is 7 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
This has been the talk of St. Louis for 30 years, and we aren't stopping now.
We are the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis. Depend on it.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Today marks the start of the 6th month of the war between the U.S. and Iran, and it was another night without military escalation. Mediators continued talking about a wider ceasefire. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott at the White House.
The president decided to hold off on further military escalation to pursue this path of diplomacy. And that came after the president had a meeting here at the White House with Vice President J.D. Vance, top military advisors. In this meeting, sources tell me that the vice president, along with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Dan Kane, did raise some concerns about an escalation. Among them, the impact that would have on the diminishing stockpile of munitions, including air defense interceptors, which, of course, are meant to protect our troops and our allies in the region.
The largest evacuation since World War II is underway in France amid wildfires that have also led to hundreds of thousands fleeing their homes in Spain. ABC's Marcus Moore is near Madrid.
This is really an unprecedented moment for people here in Spain. Officials saying the Avila fire, which has been burning west of Madrid, is the largest fire ever recorded here in the country. We're talking about more than 135,000 acres have burned at the start of this week.
Damage across Wisconsin and Illinois following strong storms and a tornado that touched down in the Appleton, Wisconsin area. Lots of damage, no reports of injuries. Those storms today moving further east. Singer Ariana Grande is suing dozens of hackers for leaking new music and her personal information for profit on the dark web.
The lawsuit claims the unnamed suspects hacked into various personal digital accounts of photographers and producers who have worked closely with Grande, leading to the unlawful and egregious theft, dissemination, and exploitation of unreleased content.
ABC's Hannah Battah. Brian Koberger, who pleaded guilty to murdering 4 Idaho college students, now says he wants a trial. This is ABC News.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and emailing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
81 degrees at 7:03. Here's what's happening now. The search is over for a man who drowned over the weekend in the Missouri River in St. Charles County. Police say the body of 22-year-old A.J. Selke was recovered yesterday afternoon. The search started Sunday night when crews responded to the river near Klondike Park after Selke was seen struggling in the water. A mysterious death that occurred more than 40 years ago in Rolla is garnering the attention of investigators once again. KTRS's Brendan Wiese has the story.
The Missouri State Highway Patrol's Division of Drug and Crime Control are seeking the public's assistance regarding the death of William Bill Sundermeyer, whose body was found in rural Dent County back in June of 1985. The case has since remained unsolved, and Sundermeyer's family is now offering a monetary reward for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for his death. Investigators believe the evidence and circumstances surrounding the death of the then 68-year-old are suspicious in nature and that there are individuals who know details about the incident and what happened to Sundermeyer. I'm Brendan Wiese, KTRS News.
The Illinois Department of Agriculture has awarded nearly $4 million in grant funds for local food infrastructure. The Local Food Infrastructure Grant Program was created to strengthen the capacity of Illinois producers and food businesses to store, process, package, aggregate, and distribute locally grown products. Funding supports essential investments that help move Illinois-grown food from farm to consumer while building long-term resilience within the state's food supply chain. Ameren, Missouri is pitching its third gas power plant in 2 years. Ameren announced it's proposing the plant in West Alton. If approved, the power plant would be completed in 2031. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs, and you can place your order anytime at WKF.com. 81 degrees, time now is 7:05. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, speaking of Colonel Sanders, I met him at a resort in French Lick, Indiana.
Tell me more. Like I said, apparently he was like...
It was a dinner one evening, and yes, he was eating fried chicken that night.
He eats his own fried chicken. It's a great story, though, like that he just was working at, what is it, Hell's Fork or Hell's Bend, something, Kentucky, at a gas station. And what was interesting, too, is that once the highways started to come by, then these businesses lost a lot of business because people weren't passing by.
Yeah.
That stuff is our history is so cool.
Yeah, it really is. My baseball coach was John Sanders. No relation.
Oh.
And Arizona State had the best crowd in the world for ragging on names. And we were playing in Arizona State one time, and it was a night game, and he was coaching third base, our coach, our manager, the coach of the team, John Sanders. And there were this group of guys who were relentless. Hey, Colonel Sanders, finger licking good. I mean, they were all over the guy. We were in the dugout just rolling the whole time. He came in. He's like, boy, they're really giving it to me good out there, aren't they?
So great.
And we never put John. Used to. What did you where's your goatee? It was just too poor to bring your goatee with you. You know, you have clip-on goatee.
That stuff is so great.
It's just hilarious. I mean, we were in the dugout just rolling. It was hilarious.
What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken? Or that from Spaceballs?
I remember Spaceballs, but I remember the movie. I don't know if I was.
His name was Colonel Sanders.
Oh, okay.
D-U-R-Z.
All right. Peter Harlambu is going to join us. Is talking about Colonel Sanders today. They're having an auction of some of his most prized possessions. He's a real guy. So Peter's got that. Mike DeBuski is going to be along with Tech Tuesday, and then next hour Antonio French, and then Amendment 5. So I'll just leave it there. I don't want to get into it for all sorts of reasons. Maybe I'll bring it up in.
How many people do you think when they get those mailers actually take them out of the mailbox and really look at them? And
it's a good question.
And I say that because literally I get them in the mail. I get them and I
Yeah.
put them right into the recycling bin because I'm angry that it's like trash. Like, why are we still using mailers anyway?
Well, I think I get a lot of junk mail in an envelope, and 98% of that just goes right in the trash.
Yeah.
I like to look at it. I like to look at the flyers, but at the end of the day, you get your mail. You're like, I've been bombarded with texts and phone calls and emails, and I don't have time to look at But this one was a cardboard 8x10 glossy, and so you couldn't help but notice it. And so you're like, okay, what is this? I got a this, I got a bill, I got a this, I got a this, and I got, what is this? Oh, this is a flyer. And you just naturally curious as what the flyer is. And, you read it and, Bill Agel used Trump's name to trick seniors and disabled veterans. Okay, well, whatever, toss it in.
Is that the first one you've gotten this whole time?
I've gotten a lot of, this is the first one I got of, I think, the county race.
Because like Carl, I get a
lot
every day, almost every day now. Like just reach in and they're all like that. They're all glossy. They're all, and right into the.
I get Butts, Mittens, Bell, and Bush.
Yeah, that makes sense because that's your area. Yeah, that's why I got a Bill Agel one or a Steve Ellman one because
that's where you live.
I'm sorry, I got a Common Sense STL Pack one. That's the one I got. Yeah. But yeah, no, and it's targeted, right? Whereas if you buy a commercial on TV or radio, it goes to a larger group of people that aren't going to vote for you or can't vote for you. So in some ways, direct mail makes sense, but the response rate on direct mail is, if you're lucky, 0.5% when you're selling stuff. So
I saw a pro Amendment 5 commercial. It was on Fox News, and it was a guy.
Pro Amendment 5?
Pro Amendment 5.
Yeah.
It was a guy in front of a whiteboard doing those.
Well, I've seen those. Yeah.
That was the first one I've seen of those.
Of the guy on the whiteboard.
Of the guy on the whiteboard.
Those have been around for a week or so. I haven't seen the talking donkey in a while.
I think that one aged out because people hated it so.
I still think Amendment 5, the best Amendment 5 commercial that they didn't do that they should have done was just Governor Keogh on his desk and saying, "Hi, I'm Governor Keogh, and let me tell you why Amendment 5 is my signature issue," as opposed to some actor on a billboard trying to jam in as much information as humanly possible. Give Mike Keogh 30 seconds, a minute, or whatever it is, to sort of a series of those to explain to voters why he wants this. I think that is the most effective advertising, not some random actor who I have no connection to a random actor who's drawing on a whiteboard or a talking donkey. This is his signature issue. Sit down and tell me why. When he was on the show, he got a lot of attention. A lot of people listened to him. A lot of people were like, okay, here's the governor talking about his issue. and they give it a legitimate listen. But they don't ask me, so. I mean, they're spending a whole lot of money on this, and I don't think they're getting very good advertising out of it.
But so I was at the gym and Fox News was on. Why would a pro Amendment 5 ad be on Fox News? Wouldn't the people watching Fox News already be pro Amendment 5? You're not changing any minds there. That's wasted money.
No. I disagree. I think, anecdotally, they're in most trouble with seniors and businesses. Right. But when you buy, I don't know what platform you were on, and I don't know exactly how it works, but sometimes they just give you, like, you buy 300 spots and it shows up on cable. It just happened to show up on Fox News at 7:30 or whatever else. So I think they're underwater in a lot of groups, including conservatives who are looking at this and somewhat askew and say, okay, I'm against taxes, but you're not telling me how you're going to raise my taxes. So I'm not a fan of giving you carte blanche to raise my taxes where you're not telling me. So I think that's also hurting them in this as well. But we'll wait and see how it all turns out. Maybe I'm totally wrong and this advertising is perfect and it'll carry the day by 60%. We'll wait and see what happens.
We'll know 8 days from today.
I mean, I thought I was wrong once, and then I turned out I was wrong. I had to wake up and apologize to myself. Well, sorry, I thought I was wrong there. I'm sorry. 7:13 here, Big 550 KTRS. You've never heard of that one before?
I had to apologize to myself.
Miller Furniture, MUELLER, MillerFurniture.com. You know, Rose gets me into trouble. She starts laughing at my jokes. It gets me into trouble. Miller Furniture, American-made company right here in St. Louis. 4 locations for great quality American-made furniture. You can get furniture made in China. You can get it sent over from China. Make sure you have an Allen wrench so you can put it together. It comes in a flat cardboard box. Maybe the corners are butchered, right? Scraped, dented, whatever. Maybe you're lucky enough and it comes fine. You put it together. You'll have a couple of leftover pieces, and you got to figure out how to read the Chinese directions. But you'll sit there, and then somebody will try and sit on it, and then, of course, it was a piece of junk anyway. At some point, you've graduated from futon furniture, and you want real American-made furniture, and that's where Miller Furniture comes in. They've got mattresses. Man, I got a great mattress from Miller Furniture a couple months ago. But they got real American-made furniture, Amish furniture, gorgeous Stickleys. This is the good stuff. They got accessories and lamps and rugs and end tables and big stuff and whole dining room sets, and you name it, they've got it. 4 area locations, same as cash financing. Great deals, as always. Miller Furniture, Fairview Heights in Illinois, across the street from the mall, Lake St. Louis, Ellisville off Manchester Road, and in Belleville. Go see for yourself. 100 years of a family-run furniture store right here in St. Louis. There's a reason why they're still around 100 years. Go see for yourself. Miller, MUELLER, MillerFurniture.com. Captain Paul, once again, St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center.
McGraw 70 East is just a little slow from Warrenton to Wright City. No problems on 270 North so far this morning. It's a 10-minute ride from 270 and 55 to Manchester. Also 10 minutes to go from the Poplar Street Bridge to 255 in Collinsville, and 9 minutes from 64 and McKnight to Jefferson. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st, for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
Meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking temperatures towards the lower 90s, but still a first alert weather day as some areas south of the St. Louis metro could look to climb up to 105 degrees for the feels like temperature. We'll see some isolated showers and storms as we head towards the afternoon hours. Look dry Wednesday, Thursday, temperatures back towards the mid to upper 80s. Then by Friday, increased chances for some scattered showers and storms that'll last through Saturday. Temperatures back towards the lower 80s. From the First Alert Forward Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch from Big 550 KTRS.
Did you know Florissant is 240 years old this year? Come out and celebrate 240 years of Florissant at the historic Old St. Ferdinand Shrine. Join the City of Florissant and Old Town Partners for an evening of community and fun. Festivities begin at 5:30 with the unveiling of a 240th anniversary plaque, followed by live music from North Wind's Band at 6 and a family-friendly movie beginning at 7:30. Food and drinks will be available from Knights of Columbus 2951, sponsored by CNB St. Louis Bank and Helpers. Come celebrate Florissant's past, present, and future. We'll see you at the Old St. Ferdinand Shrine.
That's Wednesday, July 29th. Join in the celebration.
One thing, I try to do is not think about all the money I have to spend. But sometimes it goes through your head and you think, I got to buy this, I got to spend money on that. But the money that you spent on your house is probably the biggest single purchase you've ever made. So it makes sense to protect it. And you know what? There might be things going on up top there on the roof that you can't see. Allen Roofing can. They don't even have to go up there. They can send some drones up to have a look, find out the problem, give a diagnosis, sit down with you and say, what shall we do from here to protect that asset of yours that you spent all that money on? It only makes sense, whether it's a roof, whether it's siding, tuck pointing, anything to do with the outside of your house. They will help you protect it. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Congress doesn't need more politicians. For nearly 30 years, Joan Von Dross dedicated her life to helping students learn, grow, and succeed. Now she's running for Congress to fight for lower healthcare costs, stronger public schools, and a more affordable future for Missouri families. Teachers solve problems. Politicians play politics.
I'm Joan Von Dross, Democrat from Missouri CD2, and I approve this message. Vote for me on August 4th.
Paid for by Von Dross for Congress.
You're selling your home, and I want to buy it. This is Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I am ready to pay top dollar for your home. No contingencies, no inspections, no monkey business. I buy your home no matter the condition or location, and you walk away with cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867, 314-283-0867, or at robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
McGraw, live in the morning on KTRS.
All right, we've been regaling our audience with Kentucky Fried Chicken stories all morning long. Peter Horlambus, ABC. Normally, Peter, you're in the courtroom chasing down lawyers and prosecutors and defense attorneys, and now you've turned your attention to Colonel Sanders and Kentucky Fried Chicken.
That's right. I'm spending my time today focusing on this rare opportunity to purchase a piece of American history, a piece of Kentucky Fried Chicken history, a personal belonging of Colonel Sanders that's currently going up for bid later today. Items include his famous clip-on bow tie and suspenders, a pressure cooker he used to formulate his famous recipe, and a calendar that purportedly includes a list of 11 herbs and spices, though when I spoke to the auctioneer yesterday, he refused to confirm or deny if those are truly the 11 herbs and spices that the fast food chain uses today.
So just some random 11 herbs and spices, not necessarily the 11 herbs and spices.
Well, it seems as though there's a little bit of disagreement here because Colonel Sanders was famously protective of his recipe and became very disillusioned later in life that people were kind of misusing his recipes, that KFC had gone downhill. It's possible that this is an earlier version that he's kind of more keen to. For what it's worth, Yum Brands, the company that owns and operates KFC, basically claimed that the recipe is in a vault surrounded by 2 feet of concrete and inaccessible to basically anyone, sticking by the story that it's fully secret. So,
all right. So tell me about this Colonel Sanders. He was a real guy.
He was a real person. He was not like one of these made-up characters. He's not like Aunt Jemima or Betty Crocker. He was a real dude who had a bunch of different careers before he got into fried chicken. To list a few here, he was a fireman, steamboat ferry operator, insurance salesman, tire salesman. He was a lawyer for a few years before he got into a brawl with a client in a courtroom and basically gave up on his legal career. And the KFC part of this really came in when he was working as a gas station operator. Basically, he had a restaurant and a motel attached to this gas station, and he had this issue where fried chicken takes a while to cook. If you've ever tried to fry a chicken breast, for example, in a skillet, it can take upwards of like 30 minutes. So he devised this way with a pressure cooker of finishing this recipe in about 10 minutes. And he formulated, of course, these famous 11 herbs and spices, and it really took off. He was seeing franchising across the country. Eventually, he sold the company for about $2 million, about $20 million in today's money. Though later in life, he really became frustrated with the way KFC was run. He thought they were cheapening out on his recipes, refusing to take the amount of time needed to make things like his famous gravy recipe, to the point in which he began to publicly criticize the company. He told, for example, the Louisville Courier Journal in 1975 that the recipe is nothing more than a fried dough ball stuck on some chicken. He would famously go in to random KFC franchises across the country, try the food unannounced, and then lambaste the manager if it wasn't up to his standards, someone who was known to be a perfectionist and held others to account when they failed on him.
Sounds like he would have had a great TikTok following if he were alive today.
Honestly, the most fascinating man I've read about in a while.
Is that right? When did he die?
He died in 1980. The estate itself was sold off to a close family friend, the Settle family. They continued to hold on to all these items. They also operated restaurants that Colonel Sanders and his wife ran towards the end of their lives. And it's gotten to the point where basically the Settle family is not interested in running the business any longer. The matriarch is basically planning to retire. The kids don't want to take it on. So they're basically selling all of the possessions they have of the Sanders, as well as the restaurant itself, which is going to be auctioned later this week.
Gotcha. So he didn't make his billions. He just got the $20 million and walked away, or did he have some financial stake in the company after he sold it?
So he made the $20 million, which I think he later realized was a financial mistake, because just 7 years after he sold it, the investors that purchased it from him sold it off for about $300 million.
Yeah.
But he continued to be involved in the company. He continued to serve as a salesman. He received an annual salary from the company, and he created basically like a training area in Kentucky next to this restaurant where he would train, these franchise owners how to actually make the chicken. And later in life, he and his wife basically opened up a separate restaurant called the Claudia Sanders Dinner House, where he basically, was able to present what he thought were the original versions of his recipes, uncorrupted by the corporate influence of the KFC brand. It's the only place in the world other than KFC where they're actually authorized to make this original recipe with 11 herbs and spices.
So local is always better than national. That's really interesting. Peter Harlambos, where is this an online auction? Where can we look for this stuff?
Yeah, themenishgroup.com. It's available online for now. You can place a bid there. The in-person auction, though, is set to begin today in Louisville around 6 p.m. 400 people expected.
Interesting. Did he look like that with the hat and the goatee and everything?
A little bit it was a creation of his own making, but yeah, I mean, he dyed his goatee white. The modern Colonel Sanders, for whatever reason, they've made him much slimmer than the real Colonel Sanders. If you go to the actual Menish website, they're also auctioning a bunch of photographs of his trips to Japan, for example. Weirdly enough, KFC is famous in Japan. It's a Christmas tradition there. They respect Colonel Sanders like an elder. There's some fun memorabilia to see that.
What a great story. Peter Harlambos, bringing it home. I'd like to hear more about that fight he had with his client in the courtroom. That's where the law came in with Peter Harlambos. Peter, good stuff. Thanks for checking in.
Thanks so much.
Peter, are you there? Crispy or original?
I am an original fried chicken man, though I hate to say I'm more of a fan of Popeyes.
Oh, you ruined the whole report.
A little bit of a curve.
Oh, you ruined the whole thing.
I grew up near one. What am I supposed to do?
Peter, have a good day. Thanks for checking in.
Thanks so much.
You got it. Personally, I'm a Lee's chicken man myself.
It'd be funny if you're like, we're never having Peter on ever again. Why
That's
don't
it.
they have me on anymore?
You're done. Popeyes.
But his story, Colonel Sanders, is like I said, he was known as like a miscreant, or he got fired from lawyering for fighting, and then I think he shot somebody that were like, these stories are so interesting. And then the pressure cooker, I'm curious how much it's going to go for.
Yeah. I'm a Lee's chicken man myself.
Lee's, huh?
Lee's here in St. Louis.
Is it it's a St. Louis thing?
Lee's is St. Louis, yeah.
There's a Lee's on Kings Highway that I've never ever.
Yeah, right down the street from right around
Uncle Bill's.
Uncle Bill's, yeah.
I've never been there.
Yeah.
I used to go a Kentucky Colonel. Let's make you a Kentucky Colonel.
I used to go there quite a bit, actually, Lee's chicken every once in a while. Fried chicken's good. I mean, but original or crispy. Is original spicy? Is original crispy?
Well, and Popeyes is more spicy. That's going to be a more
Spicy's
Cajun.
more Cajun-y, yeah.
So original or extra crispy.
Yeah, original or extra crispy. Yeah, that's it. I get with either one.
Did you say it was like encapsulated in concrete in a vault? The
2 feet of concrete.
The only one who can get into that is OpenAI. 727 here, Big 550, KTRS. Can I talk about Kevin Lloyd? You have to retire, and you're going to eat fried chicken all day, but you got to make sure you have enough money to do that. That's where Kevin Lloyd comes in. Look, here's the deal. If you're close to retirement, sometimes you get to choose when you retire. Sometimes they tap you on the shoulder, and it's really not your choice. And then maybe you are retired. In any one of those scenarios, you got to make sure that your retirement is figured out. Because it's easy to put the money into the accounts, but they never tell you how to take the money out of the accounts. And taking the money out, that's the most important part of the retirement, taking the money out. I know for years and years and years, you're like, I'm putting all this money in. Am I ever going to see the results? Am I ever going to get to retirement? It just seems like it's such a long time. And then all of a sudden, boom, one day you turn 50, 55, and you start thinking about retirement. And then you got to start thinking, well, how am I going to take this money out? They never explain that to you. That's where Kevin Lloyd comes in. He'll sit down and create a true financial plan with you where he will show you how to take the money out in the most tax efficient way. Oftentimes, setting up your accounts so that the whole thing is tax free. That's what you want. You want to put it in the most tax efficient way, and you want to take it out the most tax efficient way. Putting it in tax efficient is kind of easy. Taking it out is the hard part. That's where you need some advice and some advisors. And that's where Kevin Lloyd comes in. He'll talk about and make sure your Social Security check, he'll work with that. He'll make that as tax efficient as possible. All of these things. It's called a true financial plan, something we've never even seen. The big boys do this. The billionaires do this, but not us because, again, no one talks to us about all this financial literacy stuff. And that's where Kevin Lloyd comes in. 314-641-1010 or the website whenretirementhappens.com. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, there's an accident on 70 East past 170. 270 North is heavy, but on the move from Doherty Ferry to Manchester. 30 East is slow between Ronning and 270 in Sunset Hills. And in Illinois, 64 crowded between Baugh and 5564 West. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot, face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
82 degrees right now, all the way up to low 90s. Better than yesterday, but still pretty hazy, hot, and humid. A heat advisory today, only till 7 p.m. Yesterday it was till 9, so we're getting better. We get a 2-hour reprieve. It's only till 7 tonight. Mixture of sun and clouds today, maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high of 92. Overnight tonight, 71. Tomorrow, again, a little bit better, 88. We don't break this until Friday when we're back into the low 80s, upper 70s with plenty of rain on Friday and Saturday. It's 82 right now at 7:30. Let's go back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
This newscast is brought to you by Ryan Raphael, the Medicare Man. French authorities ordered nearly 4,000 more people to evacuate from tourist sites on the Atlantic coast as returning heat threatened firefighters' fragile hold on a vast wildfire west of Bordeaux. The blaze has burned an area 4 times the size of Paris and forced 220,000 people to evacuate. President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky are set to meet at the White House ahead of Senator Lindsey Graham's funeral. Today's visit comes as the far-right activist Laura Loomer, who has influence with Trump, recently changed her stance on the Ukraine war after visiting the country. Zelensky has warned of Russian aid to Iran, but Trump downplayed the impact. In local headlines, the city of St. Louis has secured critical new FEMA disaster case management funding for tornado recovery. City officials say $2.9 million in FEMA funding is on the way to assist residents in the city of St. Louis who were impacted by last year's tornado. St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer is expected to release more details during a news conference at 9 this morning. Meanwhile, the 3rd annual Integrate Community Golf Tournament will be used this year to raise money for tornado relief efforts in the Ville neighborhood. The charity event will be held on October 16th at Spencer T. Olin Golf Course in Alton. Are you or a family member turning 65? Are you happy with your current health plan? For the right plan, call the Medicare man, Ryan Raphael, at 314-368-6808. 80 degrees. Time now is 7:31. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Diana from Newstetter's Fine Jewelers here to remind you, we don't just offer the best pieces, we offer one of the last master hand engravers in our country. My father can create timeless, personal, and unforgettable pieces. Come by our showroom at the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or learn more online at wowdiamonds.com.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
Is it time to make a change with your bank? Hi, it's Julie Buck for Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution with 2 locations, and they've been around since 2005 with a mission to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services. Here's their website. It's triadbanking.com.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Hi, I'm Robert Williams, owner of Auto Art on the Hill. If you own a classic car, Auto Art is your one-stop shop for repair, restoration, and maintenance. For over 35 years, we've helped car enthusiasts and collectors keep their vehicles looking great and running their best so they can drive them. We're also proud to be the home of the award-winning Throttle Squad Car Club. Our reputation as experts in classic car restoration has attracted car collectors from around the country. We work on full and partial restorations within your budget for any project, no matter how big or small. Restoration, collision care, and 50s Flair. Auto Art at 5305 Northup Avenue on the Hill. Online at autoartstl.com.
Hear me out. What if we go to White Castle and get the new garlic parm chicken sliders with juicy chicken, crispy onions, and garlic parm sauce? And what if we get the combo with 2 sliders, mozzarella sticks, and a drink? Yeah, that's a thing. And it's only $6.99. As your castle craving, it's my job to make sure you know this stuff. What if we go now?
New garlic parm chicken slider combo at participating castles for a limited time while supplies last. Tax not included. White Castle. Crave thy castle.
McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
Little Carly Simon for you here. Why are we playing this? Carly Simon's 104 today or something?
Rose is sad.
He's been diagnosed with Parkinson's and cancer.
Oh.
A melanoma.
She that song was huge back in the day.
James Bond.
Great.
Yeah. It was also that song reminds me of This Week in the NFL or NFL Today with Irv Cross and Brent Musburger and Phyllis George. They would they would play like NFL highlights to that song, but it would be like Tony Dorsett in like slow motion, juking some linebacker or something. And it was
because nobody does it better.
Nobody does it better. Yeah. And then, of course, his name was Tony Dorsett in college. And then when he got to the pros, it was Tony Dorsett.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Also, it was Joe Theismann in college. And then they had a campaign to change his name to rhyme with Heisman. And then it was Joe Theismann.
That was smart.
Theismann for the Heisman.
I don't know. Like people change their own, like the idea of just later in life deciding to change the spelling of your name or the pronunciation of your name.
Joe Theismann. It used to be Joe Theismann, and then it was Joe Theismann. Theismann for the Heisman, which is fantastic.
Former Cardinal broadcaster Danny McLaughlin. I went to grade school with Danny McLaughlin. Then he went to Ireland, and he came back. And he said, "It's McLaughlin now."
Really? Is that right?
Yeah.
God love him. I miss Danny Mac. I loved him on the games. I thought he was great. I thought he was a great local TV announcer. No disrespect to Chip Carey or the whole team today, but I thought Danny Mac was
a good kid.
Was great. Wish him well. 7:38 here, Big 550 KTRS. All right, coming up, we got Mike Dubusky is going to be joining us here in mere moments. Cardinals lose a late one out at the stadium last night. Cubs take the game one of this series, and I was looking at the crowd. Not a lot of people in the crowd again last night. It's too dang hot. Yesterday was, it was so disgusting last night.
And it's too expensive. I'm just always going to say it's just too expensive.
Well,
it's always going to be the reason in my mind that people aren't going to the game. It's too expensive.
Well, we went to dinner last night. We did an Emerson birthday party. We went to Katie's Pizza over there on
Manchester.
On what was that? The Clayton Road and 141 over there. Yeah, over by 3A Barbecue and Bakery. And they've got a beautiful outside patio and the whole thing. Not one person was outside. nobody.
It's oppressively hot. It's not even healthy to be outside.
No, it's just not. It's just so soupy and so just. It's like
immediately start sweating.
It's like it's 40 below, and you're just you. Thank goodness for the Johnny Londoff car starter. You hit your car, you cool up your car, or you cool down your car. You heat it right in the wintertime. You start the.
Those is fantastic.
I go to the bathroom. I hit the ding, boom, car starts. And when it's 40 below and when it's, 125 degrees, I go, boom, starts the car.
We asked Londoff if they could do that for a manual transmission, right? I think it's a no-go.
Oh, I don't know.
Wouldn't that be,
I think in terms of inventions, indoor plumbing is one. And then number two, right behind it, is the automatic car starter.
Sliced bread?
The sliced bread is way down the list. No. Canned beer might be three, but the car starter, when it's 40 below outside and you're like, oh my goodness, and it starts and then you get in the car and you're like, oh, this is, because a frozen car is just no fun to get into.
It's fun to think about. What do you think the most impressive or the most invention of that time, like the refrigerator, right? Or like the freezer, the deep freezer. And during those times when these inventions came to be, which ones made the most lasting impact?
Yeah.
And a lot of it that for sure.
Remote
Electricity.
Control.
Yeah. But the freezer.
Speaking of, you were talking about that, what's changed the world.
Mm-hmm.
The refrigerator and how they could make ice changed the world over, because no longer did you have to hang meat in a in a smokehouse, and you could then buy food, and
You had to buy ice, and they deliver it to your house.
they delivered it to your house. They had a man who walked down the street with a horse and buggy delivering ice to people. Think about that for a second.
Well, yeah, and there's such another interesting podcast about that guy, the Dr. or Mr. Ice, or whatever they called him, but like
Mr. Freeze, I believe.
But they have his plan, this ambition, like I am going to find a way to, because it started like in Cuba or something, where he's like, I'm going to see if I can, transport this ice at a place like Cuba that has a tropical climate or that it's really hot. It's fascinating
Right.
how these ideas, and the idea that ice, who's going to, like, what kind of crazy idea is
Well,
this?
and in Phoenix and Scottsdale, I think there was like 35,000 people who lived in Phoenix, in the 50s or 60s. Then they invented air conditioning, and the place exploded because
Right.
people started moving there because there was air conditioning.
Right? See,
Yeah. That's why people started flocking to the desert, because all of a sudden it was air conditioned. But before it was a ghost town. It was, Phoenix was nothing. It was 10,000 people there. It was a little enclave next to a river, and all of a sudden they invented air conditioning, and
boom.
Yeah, the world changed, right? You invent a refrigerator or the ability to make ice
Mhm.
cheaply,
Yeah.
and the world changed.
Yeah, like frozen food. Like they were just like it's like one of the, biggest products in the grocery store, and you just take it for granted. Frozen food.
Can you believe that there was a time when there was a marketing campaign to have a TV dinner and to have a TV tray where the husband and the wife would sit in front of the TV with a TV tray and eat Swanson's TV dinner?
Right. But that TV thing is just a fad, so it's not going to go.
I mean, what terrible, awful food was it where you uncover the meat but keep the peach cobbler covered while
My
you
cherry
eat,
compote
while
stays
you
nice.
heat up the TV dinner? I mean, that was the worst.
And did you say you had a hungry man the other day?
I haven't had a hungry man in a long, long, long time. Hungry man dinners. I mean, so bad.
Wow. That's divorced dad food.
Who's
You got a
buying
Hungry Man?
Do they even make Hungry Man? I mean, the commercials were everywhere. Hungry Man. Yeah.
That's
For the hungry
divorced
man in your
dad
life.
food.
Hungry Man.
The cashier at Schnucks looks at you all like, I'm sorry.
Imagine
You got Hungry
when
Man.
you're buying Hungry Man, you've made some bad choices in your life.
You're not selling that Ledoux.
Yeah, I'm going home, have some Hungry Man dinner. That peach cobbler. The peach cobbler was terrible.
Well, I used to pick based on the dessert. I mean, if they didn't have the delicious compote ready, I was like, I don't want peach cobbler. I want an apple cherry.
Yeah, it was always the Salisbury steak
Oh.
or the turkey with the the three little cubes of stuffing. It's so
Oh,
bad.
this looks delicious.
Oh my goodness.
I'm really hungry, so
could
get me
you,
the big.
no wonder divorce rates were through the roof. I don't care if the husband's making for the wife. This is what you're feeding me? They were advertising it on the soap operas
Oh
today.
man.
Holy mackerel. 745 St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, there's an accident on 70 east past 170 with stop-and-go traffic back to Natural Bridge. 270 north is heavy between Doherty Ferry and Manchester. 64 east bogs down around 170. 64 west crowded from Hampton to Clayton Skinker. 30 east is running slow between Ronning and 270 in Sunset Hills. And in Illinois, 6455 west is slow from the King Bridge to the Poplar Street Bridge. And 64 west is heavy between Illinois 111 and 5570. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlots, face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hungry Man has had a total reboot. Hungry Man Salisbury Steaks, Hungry Man Select Chicken Fried Chicken, Hungry Man Boneless Fried Chicken, Hungry Man Carved White Meat Turkey. Oh, now they're racist. Swanson's Hungry Man Chicken Dinner, $635. That can't be right.
Is Hungry Man a Swanson?
I think it's
Swanson
Swanson,
bread?
yeah.
Okay.
Hungry Man Select Mexican Style Fiesta Beef Enchiladas.
Woo.
12 count, $96. It's under $10 a meal. Is that even possible?
For something you just throw in your microwave for 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hungry Man. Yeah, Swanson's Hungry Man dinner. So it was a Swanson deal. 747 here. Big 550 KTRS. Can I tell you about the window store? It's a nightly ritual, Emerson. Can I go see Mr. Thornton? Can I go get Mr. Thornton? She goes over there and checks in with Mr. Thornton every night. It's the sweetest thing in the world. Look, here's the deal. You need windows, you need doors. You want to go see my neighbor, Larry Thornton. You don't have to go see him every night, but if you need windows and doors, that's who you go see, right? You trust him with windows and doors. He's been selling windows and doors in St. Louis for 38 years. He's probably sold a bunch of windows to friends and neighbors you don't even know. The minute you start talking to him, you'll find out because I think he remembers every single customer he's ever had. Oh, yeah, I sold them windows in 1992, I think. Yeah, he had a little ranch over there in De Pere. I mean, the guy's amazing. He's better windows, better prices with doors, great customer service. He's not going to jack up any of the prices. They don't have levels of middlemen. It's a local company. They do just fine with the prices they charge. They don't need to add on for all the extra national advertising and all the extra layers of management. The window store is a local company, and they're beating the big boys at their own game. They do most of their work with a handshake and a smile. If you need windows, if you need doors, there's a whole host of customers who've been happy working with the window store for 38 years. Call my neighbor Joe, or my neighbor Larry. His son is Joe. 314-739-0002, wswindow.net.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. The dangerous heat and humidity continues, but it's not as extreme. Tuesday, a high of 91, but the heat index again near 100. A little hotter to the south, a little cooler to the north. So the First Alert weather day will continue, but again, the heat's not as extreme. An isolated storm not out of the question Tuesday, but Wednesday we're dry with low humidity, mostly sunny, and a high of 88. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer in St. Louis means your air conditioner basically clocks in with a full-time job. And if your AC is 15, 20, or maybe even 25 years old, it could be working a whole lot harder and costing you a whole lot more than it should. A newer, high-efficiency system from Premier Heating and Cooling can cut cooling costs dramatically compared to older units. In some homes, upgrading from a 20-year-old air conditioner to a modern, high-efficiency system can reduce energy use by 20 to 40%. And even a professional clean and check tune-up can improve efficiency, airflow, and help your system keep up during brutal heat waves. Add in a smart thermostat, and the Department of Energy says homeowners can save another 10% a year on heating and cooling costs. So before your old AC taps out during the hottest week of the summer, call the highly trained team at Premier Heating and Cooling. Financing options available. 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
One thing, I try to do is not think about all the money I have to spend. But sometimes it goes through your head and you think, I got to buy this, I got to spend money on that. But the money that you spent on your house is probably the biggest single purchase you've ever made. So it makes sense to protect it. And you know what? There might be things going on up top there on the roof that you can't see. Allen Roofing can. They don't even have to go up there. They can send some drones up to have a look, find out the problem, give a diagnosis, sit down with you and say, what shall we do from here to protect that asset of yours that you spent all that money on? It only makes sense, whether it's a roof, whether it's siding, tuck pointing, anything to do with the outside of your house. They will help you protect it. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Live from Studio 550, this is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
Tech Tuesday, ABC News tech reporter Mike Dubusky joins us. Mike, Mr. Altman seems to be in the news for all the wrong reasons these days. What's going on now?
Yes. So Sam Altman, after a series of controversies for his company, is headed to Washington this week. He's got a big week of meetings lined up with lawmakers, members of the Trump administration, and economists. Couple things on the docket. He ostensibly is there to preview his company's next generation AI models to lawmakers, but he's also likely to face questions in two major areas. One, this cybersecurity incident that happened last week where two of OpenAI's models broke out of their testing environment and hacked into a third-party website. This obviously garnered the attention of a lot of cybersecurity officials out there who questioned exactly how tightly the screws were tightened at OpenAI when it comes to their security policies. But Sam Altman in recent days has been pitching this ultimately as a win for the company, the vibe being, hey, look how advanced our technology is. It broke the test. He will also likely face questions about the rising AI competition out of China. We talked about this last week. These two very powerful AI models from Chinese firms. Well, we got some more data on one of them yesterday. Kimi K3, as it's known, released its benchmark testing results yesterday. It's basically like SAT scores for AI models, and it's exactly what the company pitched it as. It's a very advanced AI model that is competitive with the best American AI models out there, including those from OpenAI. Altman, of course, no stranger on Capitol Hill. He was there in March. Most recently, he was there last month in early June. And his ultimate effort is to promote his own technology and to try and advocate for a regulatory environment that boosts American artificial intelligence and does not leave the door open to Chinese competition. So you can imagine that's all going to loom large over Sam Altman's meetings.
Explain to people what, and to me, quite frankly, open source. What do you mean by open source?
Yeah, so open source is a style of computer programming that makes a program's source code available to anyone to build upon or modify. So think about like grandma's chicken casserole recipe, right? There's two schools of thought. You can keep that in the family. You don't share the recipe. You want that to be proprietary to your family. Keep that trade secret in the house. Or you can put it on the internet and allow anyone to add their own mix of spices, add to it, change things to suit their own specific tastes. That's the difference between closed source, which is largely how OpenAI and the rest of the American AI industry has gone about developing this technology, and the Chinese AI companies, right? They have pitched open source AI technology as a competitive advantage, saying, hey, anyone can come in, modify, tweak this, learn from it, build an app on top of it, whatever you want to do, you can do that with our AI models. In fact, the company that OpenAI's models hacked into last week, Hugging Face, had to go to a Chinese AI model to guard against that attack, essentially, because it was open source and they could not find an open enough advanced model in the American AI industry. So it's this ongoing debate. Open versus closed source is not unique to the AI industry. It's been this debate that's raged in Silicon Valley really since the origins of it, but it has taken on this new sort of sheen in the AI era, and you're seeing rising sort of support for it from American companies. In fact, yesterday, the Open Secure AI Alliance was announced. That's this new group composed of NVIDIA, Microsoft, Adobe, Dell, other American tech companies that advocates for open source AI cybersecurity technology that's out there. So again, a kind of growing debate. Notably, OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic have not signed on to that alliance.
Because I know a lot of the internet is quote unquote open source, and that's been going on for 30 years with the internet. But if it's open source, does OpenAI lose the ability to charge or make money or make less? How does that work?
So not necessarily. There are kind of gradations of this where you can subscribe and use the model for certain purposes, but looking at the source code is kind of a different thing, right? It's the difference between eating grandma's casserole, which you would have to pay for, or learning from the recipe, which would be free. So like there's kind of, different stages of that. There's also like a monetization question around like, do we make some of our cheaper, less good models open source and available to learn from, or and kind of paywall our more advanced stuff? Do we do that in reverse? Like, how do you go about, thinking about that as, the decision ultimately of the experts at these companies. But yeah, it doesn't necessarily preclude OpenAI from charging for this stuff. And they might want to, right? None of these companies make money at the end of the day, which I think bears repeating.
Right.
And that is a growing concern for the AI industry amid a kind of larger backlash we're seeing to things like data centers, to things like this growing competition out of China, energy costs and that sort of thing. Like they still need to figure out how to make money, and so far profits have been elusive.
Let me make sure I understood you correctly. Earlier you said that OpenAI had to go to a Chinese AI company to shut down their own rogue AI?
Not OpenAI, the company that they hacked into. So they hacked into this company called Hugging Face, or rather their models did. And Hugging Face is like an online forum essentially for AI developers to like trade information, right? If you want to go develop a new model, you can go to Hugging Face and get like a data set to train your model on. It could conceivably have the answer to the problem that these AI models were trying to solve. So that's seemingly why they made that decision to do that. But to guard against that attack, that company, Hugging Face, had to go to an open source Chinese model to develop a tool that would suit that specific defense, right? And they could seemingly only, according to them, find it in these sort of open source Chinese models.
It's kind of weirdly interesting. Mike Dubusky, good stuff as always. Thanks for checking in.
Of course, take care.
Yeah, 7:57 here, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul, take it away.
There's an accident on 70 East past 170 with stop-and-go traffic back to Natural Bridge. 270 North is heavy from north of 44 to Manchester. 64 East bogs down around 170. 64 West crowded from Hampton to Clayton Skinker. 30 East is congested between Ronning and 270 in Sunset Hills. In Illinois, 6455 West is slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. And 64 West is heavy between Illinois 111 and 5564 West. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st, for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, we got a whole bunch of texts about a whole bunch of things. Can't get to all of them, but how about this one? We use a color-coded ice card in the window. The amount of ice you wanted would be on the top, and the iceman could easily see what you wanted and then bring it up to your house. The sign saved him a trip to see what you needed. In the summer, we would hang out by the truck, and he would chip off a chunk of ice for us. How about that? Here's another one. I'm a divorced dad who made poor choices, and the Swanson's chicken dinner reminds me of my wife. It was my favorite meal, and the salty tears in the potatoes helped with the flavor. Man, a man's a writer right there. There's your text of the day. You're eating Hungry Man Swanson's dinners. You need a free car wash. Carl will text you the code for a free Country Club car wash, courtesy of Country Club Car Wash, as our text of the day. Hazy, hot, and humid again today. Not as high as yesterday. High of 92. It's 82 right now. 8 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
Mizzou football. Yep, you found it. The home of everything Mizzou. We are the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. In about a half hour, a ceremony will begin in the Capitol Rotunda in honor of South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, who died unexpectedly a little over 2 weeks ago. ABC's Jay O'Brien has more from the location of Graham's first funeral in Washington.
The first of two funerals for the late Senator Lindsey Graham will be here at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. Before that, he'll have a private ceremony at the Rotunda of the United States Capitol. Graham will be eulogized here at the National Cathedral by his close friend, President Donald Trump, who has said that the South Carolina Republican was like family to him.
Before the president attends that, he will meet with both Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House. ABC's Rachel Scott is there.
We are now entering the 6th month of this conflict, and there is still no clear end in sight. And this morning, a bit of whiplash. President Trump now says that there's a new round of talks between the U.S. and Iran after the United States concluded nearly 2 weeks of straight attacks. But this morning, the president is sending mixed messages on when exactly he wants to see a deal. deal. Initially, he said he's not willing to give Iran much time, but then just a few hours later, President Trump said that he has a lot of patience.
Cleanup goes on in Illinois and Wisconsin, where a line of powerful storms spawned twisters and left behind more than 300,000 power outages.
The city of Menasha, Wisconsin, taking a direct hit, prompting the mayor to declare a local state of disaster.
I headed down to the basement, and when I come up, it's like a war zone here.
The view from above shows roofs ripped from homes and businesses destroyed.
ABC's Alex Perez in Wisconsin. Spain and France forced to kick more than 300,000 people out of their homes as fast-moving wildfires continue to burn. An area west of Bordeaux has burned an area 4 times the size of Paris. Earthquake in southern Japan today. It caused a shopping mall to collapse. A number of people were injured. It's not clear how many. Tsunami advisories have been lifted. This is ABC News.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say McGraw, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say McGraw, and let the savings begin.
Worldwide Technology Raceway is the only track in America to host a NASCAR event, an IndyCar event, and an NHRA event. The Raceway features a full schedule on their drag strip, oval track, and Gateway Kartplex. For full schedule and ticket info, go online to www.raceway.com. The track, under the leadership of owner Curtis Francois, continues to upgrade the race experience for fans who come from around the country. For tickets, go to www.raceway.com.
That's www.raceway.com.
82 degrees at 8:03. The cause of a 2-alarm fire at a commercial building in the Central West End is being investigated. Firefighters were called to the burning building along the 4500 block of Olive at just before 5:30 this morning. Heavy smoke and flames were present when firefighters arrived. No injuries have been reported, but the fire caused significant damage to the building. St. Louis Public Schools will host its first meeting at central office since a Legionnaire's response. Earlier this summer, the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services notified the district employee was diagnosed with Legionnaire's disease. Since then, remediation work has been conducted in the building. While the building is not yet reopening for everyday use, district officials say enough work has been completed for the Board of Education meeting to be held there tonight. It's another day of extreme heat in the St. Louis area. This has health officials reminding the public to take precautions to avoid heat-related illnesses. This includes staying hydrated, avoid long periods of time outdoors, and check on elderly neighbors, friends, and relatives. Those in need of a cooling shelter should call the United Way at 211. Pet owners are also reminded not to leave their pets outdoors for long periods of time. More West Nile activity has been reported in Jefferson County. The Jefferson County Department of Health says a batch of mosquitoes collected last week in DeSoto have tested positive for West Nile. New data is not providing encouraging news for startup businesses in the Gateway City. KTRS's Brendan Wiese has more.
A new study by the e-commerce experts at Build Your Store recently compared the 100 most populous metropolitan areas in the country to reveal where new establishments are most likely to remain active during their first 5 years of existence. St. Louis and its surrounding counties ranked dead last with a survival rate of just 58%. Miami, Florida ranked second to last, while New York City slotted in third. Kansas City on the western side of the state didn't fare much better as it rounded out the bottom 10. Some of the problems these new businesses encounter are higher overheads, more competition, and greater pressure to acquire customers quickly. I'm Brendan Wiese, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs, and you can place your order anytime at WKF.com. 82 degrees. Time now is 8:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
You know him as the voice of Billikens basketball.
It's time for sports with Bob Ramsey
On the McGraw Show, powered by Baldy Electric on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, it's 8:06, and I thought we had some walk-up music for Bob Ramsey.
We just played it.
Oh. What's
You heard it, Bob, didn't you?
I thought it was a little bit more something. I thought it was a little more whatever, but okay.
It's 12 seconds long.
All right. Bob Ramsey, I apologize for the disrespect here.
I think 12 seconds is about right.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Cardinals, bit of a funk here in this start this second half. They're now at a 500 record. What's going on? They're just running out of gas. What do you see?
Yeah, I think that's probably the kind of the overview way to talk about it. When things aren't going well, you don't pitch or hit. For much of the first half of the season, you would get those things working often together. Get an okay pitching event game, and you get enough hits. You get double-digit hits. You're moving guys around, especially the top half of the order. But when you don't have the kind of talent that many of your opponents have, and you sort of play to your level, they say water seeps to its own level. You sort of play to that level. You have such a thin margin of error that you kind of see what's going on. Now, more specifically, recently, you've had the back of your bullpen, the most important part, on the shelf. Jojo Romero, your setup guy, has appendicitis, is recovering from that. And O'Brien, your closer, has been sick. So you can see these games slipping away, even games that maybe you're within a run and you got a chance late, but then the bullpen blows up and now you're 5-6 runs behind. And so then the offense that had been winning one-run games or scratching out ways to score enough to win, they don't have enough firepower to do that on a given night. So it's just kind of the, kind of everything going wrong at once. But as far as player development, I've said it many times, that's the prism through which you have to look, I think, to really evaluate what's going on. You're starting to see some of the starting pitching come around, and as far as the hitting goes, the good hitters are still okay, and the bottom half of the order is meh. So that's just kind of who you are right now.
It's always funny to me. You pay the starting pitcher all this money, and you spend all this money, all these resources, right? You want to go get this Struble from Detroit, and the guy's only going to pitch 6 innings, and then you better have a good bullpen for the last 3 innings, or it doesn't matter how good the guy was in the first 6 innings.
Yeah, and more in the modern way of thinking, they almost want to do it kind of backwards from the way many of us grew up doing it. Let's start with the closer and the setup guy and the lefty specialist, and we'll cobble together a starting rotation. The Cardinals aren't doing it that way. They want to develop their rotation, and I think you're seeing some glimpses of that moving forward. Dobbins last night, who was piggybacking off Liberatore, and poor Liberatore is really, when you talk about development, he is not developing. He's, I think, regressing. I don't know the answer to how to fix that, but that's a problem. But Dobbins is a guy you're trying to piggyback and maybe take that spot. He wasn't very good last night either. So there's a lot of work to be done pitching out of the bullpen and the starting rotation before this team's a contender.
I know no one feels sympathetic for these guys making all this money playing baseball, but playing baseball in this heat is not easy, right? They had a day game yesterday, a night game today. They had a 2-hour rain delay or whatever it is. That is a grind mentally and physically.
Yeah, and frequently, and that's just been the thing with baseball. That's why its regular season is such a great test of who's really good to get through this weather. With this heat, as hot as it has been, you're right. Physically, it's a true struggle. Typically, even when you don't have extreme weather, the mental grind coming out of the All-Star break and into the dog days of August, The mental grind has always been there. Now you add oppressive heat and teams just having to grind through it, but that's why they call it the dog days of August. We just started a little bit early.
Yeah. Hey, we were talking to Randy about this yesterday. I'd like to get your take on this, being a college guy. The SEC openly talking about leaving the NCAA and sort of creating their own college football world. What do you make of this story?
Well, with the NCAA having no real power, they don't really have the teeth to hold specific teams or leagues accountable, to hold their feet to the fire. Because every time they try and do something, they get sued and they lose in court. And until that is fixed by Congress, I think the idea that the SEC and the Big Ten could sort of form their own alliance, while I still think as a long shot, it's not that unrealistic that they would have, they can make their own TV contracts, their own schedules. They can do anything they want. And with the money and power they already have, I don't think it's that far-fetched.
And, now they're talking about like having some type of collective bargaining agreement with the players and have a salary cap and everything. I mean, these salaries that they're talking about in college football and college basketball, Randy was making the joke yesterday that there are going to be players in college basketball making more money than LeBron James as a pro.
Yeah, because of his that low contract he took. But the thing is, I think even more evidence to the insanity of it all is the top players going from college into the NBA or any pro team, whether it's Europe or Australia or wherever. Most of them probably made more money as a senior in college than they'll make in their first contracts. It's everything's been flipped on its head, and that's true. You look at a guy like Robbie Avila here at St. Louis U. If he ends up staying on that D-League contract with the Lakers, he'll have made in his last couple of years at St. Louis U 2 or 3 times what he'd make in the professional minor league. So it's really turned on its head.
Yeah, no, the whole thing is, and I've been saying this for years. It's not college anymore. I think it's a competitor to the NBA or to the NFL, right? College football is just another professional league that will compete with the NFL. One plays on Saturday mostly, the other one plays on Sunday mostly.
Well, that's turning out to be the case. I think you're 100% right, and I just don't know how much of the genie you can put back into the bottle, even if Congress would give the NCAA more power. And I don't know how you can pull that back. I think we're at a point where players are going to get paid in college, which I'm for, but the unregulated cash flowing in really just upsets the apple cart for what we've been used to really since we've been playing college and pro sports.
Yeah, I mean, you have to go to school. I mean, when you and I were, back in the Stone Age, right? You had to go to class. You had to be eligible. You had the red shirt. You could only play 4 years. I mean, all those rules. Why go to school? If the SEC can just make the rules they want, you don't have to pass 24 credit hours to be eligible the next year. You don't have to play 5 years. Why not play 10 years? If we like the quarterback we got, why don't we keep the guy for 6 or 7 or 10 years? Who knows? It's the Wild West out there if there are no rules. Crazy stuff. All right, Bob Ramsey, anything going on for this afternoon?
This afternoon, I haven't talked to Josh Gilbert. We don't really speak to each other. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure he is putting together a slam bang Bafo Sacco show today.
Well, that's what we expect every single day. Between 3 and 6, part of the afternoon zoo here at the Big 550 KTRS. Bob Ramsey. Bob, have a good day.
All right.
Thanks, man.
See ya.
All right. There you go. 8:15 here, Big 550 KTRS. Once again, in the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, they are still working to clear an accident on 70 east past 170 with stop-and-go traffic back to Natural Bridge. 270 north is heavy from Doherty Ferry up to Manchester. 64 east bogs down from 170 to Big Bend. 64 west crowded from Hampton to Clayton Skinker. 30 east is slow between Ronning and 270 in Sunset Hills. In Illinois, 6455 west is slow from the King Bridge to the Poplar Street Bridge, and 64 west is heavy between 25th Street and 5564 west. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st, for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking temperatures towards the lower 90s, but still a first alert weather day as some areas south of the St. Louis metro could look to climb up to 105 degrees for the feels like temperature. We'll see some isolated showers and storms as we head towards the afternoon hours. Look dry Wednesday, Thursday, temperatures back towards the mid to upper 80s. Then by Friday, increased chances for some scattered showers and storms that'll last through Saturday. Temperatures back towards the lower 80s. From the First Alert Forward Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk Morelli tuck pointing. Morelli, with all this heat and the humidity, at some point, it's going to turn back to cold. And, of course, that the rain and the humidity and the cold and the hot and all of that put together year after year wreaks all sorts of havoc on the brick, the stone, and the mortar. And all of a sudden, right, all you need to do is get a little bit of a crack in there. The water seeps in, and then the next year it gets a little bigger and a little bigger, and all of a sudden you've got a compromised wall. You need to get it fixed, and that's where Morelli comes in. Morelli tuck pointing, 30-plus years, 3 generations. I love the story. Somebody calls up John Morelli. I got these steps that are sort of starting to get real bad. They're a trip hazard. Mom can't go up the steps anymore. Can you come out and, okay, let me check it out. Goes out there, he looks at it and examines it, and he says, I think my grandfather put these steps in. That is a testament to old world craftsmanship. That's a testament to being a stonemason. And that's where the good stuff happens right there. Morelli, St. Louis owned, St. Louis operated, residential, commercial, something as simple as a couple of stone steps, maybe even something more important where it's a foundation or a whole brick wall that needs to be fixed. I've called Morelli a couple of times. They are the gold standard. And I did not dub them that. My property manager said they are the gold standard. 314-645-1387. Morelli, for all of your tuck pointing. MorelliTuckPointing.com.
I'm Reed Millard, president of Lupton Millard Chapel of St. Louis. We've been faithfully serving St. Louis families for generations. At Lupton Millard Chapel, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve. A traditional church funeral or a unique celebration of life. Providing the finest in services and attention to detail has always been the hallmark of our family.
Lupton Millard Chapel, the leader in excellence since 1905. For more information, go to LuptonMillardChapel.com.
Jill Farmer here with Dan Head, owner of Patriot Build Sunrooms. Dan, why go on vacation these days when your favorite destination could be right in your own backyard?
Thanks, Jill. We can transform your deck or patio into the perfect place to relax and make memories with the Patriot Sunroom. A screen room, patio cover, power shades, outdoor kitchen, and much more. Now is the perfect time to invest in comfort, beauty, and lasting value. Enjoy more light, more nature, more life in a Patriot Sunroom.
Call 314-822-3232 for your free design consultation. Online at patriotbuildsstl.com.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer. Medicare can feel like learning a whole new language. Supplement plans, Medicare Advantage, Part D prescription coverage. How do you know if your doctors are even in the network? That's where Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man, comes in. Ryan is like having your own Medicare consultant, guiding you through every option at no cost to you. By law, the insurance companies pay his fee, not you. For the right plan, call the Medicare Man, 314-368-6808, or visit MedicareManSTL.com.
Did you wake up this morning with no heat? Blankets and space heaters are a great short-term solution, but why settle for those when you can receive fast, reliable furnace repair from Viviano? We've helped thousands of customers across the Metro East stay cozy and comfortable all season long. And our expert team is ready to help you do the same this winter. For emergency service, you can count on Viviano Heating and Air at VivianoAir.com. That's VivianoAir.com. Trane, the most reliable name in heating and cooling around. It's hard to stop a Trane.
Is it time to make a change with your bank? Hi, it's Julie Buck for Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution with 2 locations, and they've been around since 2005 with a mission to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services. Here's their website. It's triadbanking.com.
Do you have the option to control your cash flow and wealth? Are you getting a return on your greatest asset, your lifetime and potential generational income? Overcome these critical financial planning challenges by discovering the Control Option Mindset featuring the Lifetime and Generational Income Maximizer. Call Mark Benson and his team at The Control Option at 314-432-9540 or online at thecontroloptionmindset.com.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTR.
TRS. I want to check in with Antonio French, St. Louis Post-Dispatch columnist, and joins us every Tuesday and every Thursday. Antonio, we were talking earlier in the show. My mailbox got a big stuffing full of anti-Bill Eigel stuff in St. Charles County. As a reform politician, do those mailers work? There's got to be a reason why they do them.
Oh yeah, they work. They're effective, and they're in campaigns. They're about the best bang you can get for your buck. You know, you can hit a home multiple times without having to pay somebody to go knock on the door. So. You know, but we all know that probably a majority of those mailers are going to end up in the trash can very fast. So that's why they bombard you. That's why you get them every day for the last, 7 days of the campaign. And say, they got to take a look at something, you know.
Well, your point is well taken because you can target it to your actual district and your zip code. Whereas if you buy a spot on TV, that's going to go to places that don't necessarily vote for you. So you're buying audience that can't vote for you. So the best bang for your buck is then that mailer.
That's right. TV is usually for those campaigns that's got so much money that they can afford to waste some, or they're paid for by a PAC who not only wants to influence the election, but also wants to remind everybody that they got money and they have influence and power. But if you actually want to target a particular voter, especially, you can look at their voter record, see how often they vote. This person is guaranteed to vote. They haven't missed an election in 10 years. They live in this neighborhood that has been, affected by this issue. You might even get down to, you got some data that they actually care particularly about a specific issue where you're going to get 5 different mailers just on that issue. It's part of the process. It's a lot of money. Printers love election season. Love it. It's probably one of their, like Christmas for them.
Let's talk about missed votes. Let's first talk with the Cori Bush-Wesley Bell race that is heating up. I don't know about you, but I think whoever's running those ads against Cori Bush, they're pretty effective, where she's asked the question about, are you supporting Kamala Harris? And she says, I don't know. She missed the votes. I think those are landing punches there when it comes to Cori Bush.
Yeah, they're throwing punches both ways, Interesting, though, I don't know if any of these big topics that they're talking about are really issues that matter to voters. They're not in their top 10. Cori Bush and her folks are trying to make it about Israel and Palestine. The other side is trying to point to personal issues about Cori Bush and how she handles her personal money or campaign money. Hey, to the average voter, those issues don't really matter at all to their daily lives. So unfortunately, we've gotten to the point where in the campaign where, they're just trying to beat each other up and, see who survives and not really talking about the issues that matter most. At the end of the day, though, I think that, the incumbent is probably going to win re-election. He hasn't had scandals. He hasn't given the public a reason to kick him out. And, statistically, incumbents in Congress win almost 90% of the time. So I don't see a reason for that to be different this time.
It's a brilliant point, if I can embarrass you, because they're playing the Washington game, whereas the people here are like, yeah, I don't care who she supported 4 years ago. What are you going to do for me today with the price of milk and beef and housing and everything else?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people are experiencing real problems right now, man. Even if you were making pretty good money, that money is not spending the same way it was just 4 or 5 years ago. In St. Louis in particular, you got devastation still from the tornado, economic damage, population decline, crime, schools, etc. And, it's a lot easier to, talk about how your opponent looks or what their, stupid stuff they did or mistakes they made in the past than try to present a plan to actually fix some of these big issues that have been killing us as a region for, decades.
Let's talk about St. Louis County. The primary there is Jake Zimmerman, Brian Williams, a couple of others. Dennis Hancock is the Republican guy. But basically, this one's going to come down to Brian Williams and Jake Zimmerman. What do you think about this race shaping up?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the county is blessed. They've got 2 good candidates there. Actually 3. I mean, you open it up. I think they've got some good Democratic candidates there. So they're going to battle it out to decide which one they want. But I don't think they can go too wrong with either one of those, to tell you the truth. So yeah, good on St. Louis County. I wish we had that problem sometime.
Not very, very different tone than the Cori Bush Wesley Bell race. I mean, both of them basically been running a positive campaign, sort of promoting themselves and sort of identifying themselves to the voters, as opposed to going after the other one.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I think it speaks to both their characters. I know both those guys, and they're both good guys. You're exactly right. They're not running campaigns that are just like trying to demonize the other side or demonize anybody. It's just about what their vision is and what positive things they can do for the county. And man, that's also a welcome change from how we've seen so many campaigns play. And it's just poisoned our politics and really, I think, poisoned our kind of culture.
Yeah.
So good on them for trying to run a positive campaign, and I hope that continues in the general, too.
All right, we'll go. We'll leave it there. And Antonio French, keen insights, as always. We'll talk to you on Thursday. Thanks for checking in.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You got it. Antonio French with us every Tuesday, Thursday. Post-Dispatch, STLtoday.com. Do you see where the Post-Dispatch is? Their editorial board will no longer be endorsing candidates. They've announced that they're going to talk about the issues and give you their opinions, but they're no longer going to endorse candidates. It's sort of a trend in newspapers today. The newspapers are getting away from endorsing candidates, so to speak. I thought that was interesting. Maybe we'll talk to them about that on Thursday. It is 8:30 here, Big 550 KTRS. St. Louis, Closet Company Traffic Center. Once again, here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, they are still working to clear an accident on 70 East past 170 with stop-and-go traffic back to Natural Bridge. 270 North is heavy from Big Bend to Manchester. 64 East bogs down from McKnight to Big Bend. 64 West is crowded from Hampton to McCausland. 30 East still slow between Ronning and 270 in Sunset Hills. In Illinois, 6455 West is slow from 64 to the Poplar Street Bridge, and 64 West is heavy between 25th Street and 5564 West. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st, for a free showing of The Sandlot, face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
82 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS, all the way up to 92. Hazy, hot, and humid. That's the story, and we're sticking to it. Heat advisory until 7 p.m. tonight. That's better than it was yesterday when it was till 9 p.m. last night. 7 p.m. tonight. 8:31. Let's go to the newsroom. Once again, here's Rose Dalton.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's meeting with President Donald Trump is the first since the two leaders launched a joint war against Iran and a chance for Netanyahu to smooth out strains in their relationship. According to a White House official, the two leaders also plan to discuss the framework agreement the U.S. and Israel signed with Lebanon over the Israel-Hezbollah war and the expansion of the Abraham Accords. The man convicted of murdering 4 University of Idaho students is asking a court to let him withdraw his guilty plea and go to trial, saying his attorneys manipulated him into making the deal by promising him better prison conditions and scaring him about the quality of life on death row. 31-year-old Brian Koberger filed the handwritten petition on Monday from the Idaho Maximum Security Penitentiary, where he is serving 4 consecutive life sentences for the murders. In local headlines, the city of St. Louis has secured critical new FEMA disaster case management funding for tornado recovery. City officials say $2.9 million in FEMA funding is on the way to assist residents in the city of St. Louis who were impacted by last year's tornado. St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer is expected to release more details during a news conference at 9 this morning. And Ameren, Missouri is pitching its 3rd gas power plant in 2 years. Ameren announced it's proposing the plant in West Alton. If approved, the power plant would be completed in 2031. 83 degrees. Time now is 8:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the Talk of St. Louis.
The Big 550 KTRS is proud to be celebrating 30 years of being the Talk of St. Louis and looking forward to another 30 years. But we want to hear from you and get your thoughts on what you like and don't like and what we can do better.
Go to KTRS.com or to the KTRS app and take our 30th anniversary listener survey.
We thank you in advance, and once you take the survey, you'll be registered for a chance to win one of 5 $200 Visa gift cards from the Big 550, the Talk of St. Louis.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. I trust Pella Windows and Doors of St. Louis with my home when it matters most. They are the local experts who know our area best. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit Pella.com/radio to learn more. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Now back to McGraw, presented by London Chevrolet, the London Autoplex, and London.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
The Bengals?
We play this every week for them. It's the Go-Go's.
The Go-Go's. The Bengals, the Go-Go's.
You're way off.
Oh, no.
The Go-Go's. The Go-Go's. That was
Great.
The Go-Go's.
Mm-hmm.
That
And
was
then
their second album.
And then you had Belinda Carlisle. Yeah, the Go-Go's. The Go-Go. What a great name for a band.
Mm-hmm.
The girls band, the Go-Go's.
Yep, they were great.
They were great. 8:36 here, Big 550 KTR. So this on Tuesdays at 8:35. 20 years, 15 years. It's been Altair Travel and Cruises. First with Pat Blassie, God rest her soul, the sweetest woman in the world. Then her daughter, Angie, and then Sherry and the granddaughter, Haley, would take over from time to time. Today could be the first time in all these years that they said, we can't do the segment. We're otherwise busy.
Really, the first time.
Yeah. First time in all these years they haven't rung the bell. Now, look, I know Angie had a prior engagement. Sherry was up late with the Cardinals game, and then the Cardinals are now at 500. So Sherry's taken to her sick bed, so she can't talk. She's she's being watched. She's having people come in and
closely monitored
to make sure she's okay. She's on oxygen. Apparently, she'll be fine, but she needs some time to recuperate. And so they said, "Would you do it? Would you do it for us?" So I'm the person for Altair Travel and Cruises today.
It'd be interesting if you eventually start working with Penny, the grandbaby.
The grandbaby,
that's right.
Because
really?
That's what Haley's doing, is taking care
I
of
hope.
Penny.
I God love her. I hope I get to the. I hope I'm gone by the time Penny's running Altair Travel and Cruises. No, Penny's daughters. You know,
Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh, your great grandmother started this thing. 142 years old.
So how many cruises have you Altair cruises have you been on? Like, is it way too many to just be like?
It's been a lot. I mean, we did one every year for a couple of times. We did two a year.
And have you been on like ocean cruises as well as river cruises?
So we've never done an ocean cruise. We've never gone across the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay.
Though I think if I had my choice, they also talk about those repositioning tour.
Yeah.
Where they're going from the
east to west.
Yeah, it's a one way.
And it's a one way. And it's like they have to get the ship from the Caribbean to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just sort of sell these low cost, no frills sort of cabins, for 7 days, 8 days as they go across. And, oh, wait, we got to stop over here and fix the hull. And so you're stuck in, wherever for a week. Well, and it's literally like one of those deals. And it's just sort of, I do that all day long.
Yeah,
just
right?
get on a ship and just,
But the Disney one was on the ocean, wasn't it? Didn't you do the Disney cruise?
But it was just in the Caribbean.
It was just, it was a Caribbean. We didn't cross or anything. What's funny, though, is I was talking, we had the holiday with my cousin JR, who hasn't gone to Ireland, and he's so jealous that we've gone to Ireland now 3 times. We've taken a group of people to Ireland 3 times. And so he wants to, he was talking about going to Ireland and, taking his little boy and little girl and wife to Ireland to, the homeland type of deal. So we were on the vacation. We were talking about it. And he's like, yeah, we're just going to, we're just going to go and, wing it. Yeah. And I looked at him and I was like, that's interesting. I was like, Lewis and Clark had a tour guide. So if a tour guide's good enough for Lewis and Clark, why isn't it good enough for you? Well, getting on a bus and, and I'm like, it's not like a bus tour of Las Vegas. It's not, it doesn't work like that. You have only a limited amount of time. If you're 20 years old and you want to backpack across Europe and, get lost for 3 months, and I don't know if I met a girl in the Bordeaux region of France, so I'm going to stay here a couple more weeks. It's not like that. You don't have 3 months to go traipsing around Europe. You've got a week, you got 10 days, you got 2 weeks, you got a month, whatever your time limit is. Altair can help you if you want to just stay from hostel to hostel, but you've limited time. and the crowds are insane. And so you also want to know what you're looking at, right? I mean, just take the Vatican. It's impossible to get into the Vatican unless you know the system. And that's just the Vatican. So they were able to get us to cut. I mean, the line for the public at the Vatican is insane. It goes to it goes to Sicily. So you can't get in there on your own. If you do, it takes you 3 days. But Altair Travel and Cruises will get you a guide. They'll cut you right in the
like
front.
a personal guide,
A personal
just
guide.
for your group.
If you want to do it, just if your family's going to Europe and you want to go see Rome and you want to go to see the Vatican, Altair Travel and Cruises will set you up with a local tour guide.
Nice.
You meet them at the fountain in St. Peter's Square at noon, at 2:00, whatever, and let's go. They'll give you whispers for your ears. And they have a little flag, and they follow you in. You follow them in. You cut the whole line. Then you're in the Sistine Chapel, and all of a sudden they're explaining to you what you're actually looking at. And what about this? And and let me show you this, and let me tell you this, and so you get this wonderful history lesson. And at the end of the hour, you're like, oh my goodness, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Whereas if you didn't do it, you're now only 6 hours from getting in because the line is 7 hours. So there's no other way to do it. You can't do it any other way.
Winging it sounds all like romantic and whimsy, like I got this. And it's probably always the worst decision.
Yes.
As someone who does not like crowds and tours and whatever, I've tried to wing it once and it was the worst. You need a guy, you need structure to a point, right? Like a clipboard of fun, if you will.
That's exactly right. And okay, let's say you've been to the Vatican 3 times and you want to go somewhere else. Okay, guys, you go to the Vatican. I'm going to go over here, but they'll help you with. When we went to Ireland with a group of KTRS listeners, we flew in a day early. My sister had found the church where my great grandmother got married.
Oh.
And it was Easter Sunday. We flew in a day early, and Altair Travel and Cruises set up a tour guide and a van to get the Millhavens from the airport to the hotel. And then from the hotel, we went to this church, which was, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half from Dublin. We found the church. We walked into the church. We had my mother's ashes and my father's ashes, and we laid the ashes there in the cemetery where her great grandmother was married. And then it was a wonderful moment. We went and had a little Jameson in a bar down the street and toasted him. And then on the way back, he found the most gorgeous, beautiful Irish restaurant where it was singing and dancing. And it was a lovely, lovely day. Never in a million years could we have done that on our own.
Yeah.
Because we'd still be at the airport screaming and yelling.
Mm-hmm.
One more story. We were the last day we were in Copenhagen. And we decided to stay an extra day in Copenhagen because the family's like, well, we're here. We might as well stay. And so Sherry and everybody had left. So somebody gets the bright idea to go to Sweden. And we're like, haven't we gone far enough? Now you want to go to Sweden? Okay, fine. So the Millhavens are going to take the train to Sweden, which is one of these under the North Sea or whatever, right, to Sweden. So we get to the train station. Now, we've got euros and we've got dollars, but Sweden has different money. So now you're entering a third
currency.
Year.
Oh no.
And so I'm like, I'll pay for it, and then you guys pay me back. So
Krona.
Okay, so I don't know what it was, $30 or whatever it was for all the tickets, or $40. I'm like, well, I'll just pay for it. You guys pay me back. So I'm like, okay, that's they charge me 42 euros. That's $40 American. Everybody owes me $8. So the one says, well, I've got Swedish, and I was like, I can't do I can't do the krone to the euro to the American dollar. I was like, I have no idea. Just I don't know. Give me $10.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what that means. But I mean, it took us forever to get to Sweden, and once we got there, we just wandered the streets. Luckily, we found a really nice restaurant and had a nice time. But I mean, we just wandered the streets because we didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun, but
It is so important to do the travel agent thing too. Like
It's
I
so
said,
important.
because they can also, like, if you have issues with your hotel or whatever, like you just call them and they, right? As opposed to like if you did like the booking, these online, the third party ones where can you go to the hotel and you want to get out of it or something.
Yeah.
It's like trying to get out of a gym membership.
Well, Sherry found us a hotel right next to the cathedral in Milan. We were right in the center of the universe.
Nice.
As opposed to, out in the suburbs or something.
Right.
I mean,
Well-
story after story after story. What memories from Altair Travel and Cruises. So look, here's the deal. Hopefully Sherry and Angie come back next week, so you don't have to hear me talk about look at my family vacation photos. But if you're planning a trip, the only way to do it is with Altair Travel and Cruises. They handle all the details. You handle all the fun. 846, Big 550 KTRS. On October 16th, we're taking a transatlantic cruise leaving Southampton, London, 15 days to Galveston, Texas. Thank you, Altair Travel and Cruises. Wow, that sounds like a deal. That's the way to do it, right? London to Galveston, Texas, 15 days. Yeah, that's 2 weeks of rest and relaxation. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, no accidents, but 270 north is still heavy around Doherty Ferry. 64 east bogs down from McKnight to Big Bend. And in Illinois, 6455 west is slow from 64 to the Poplar Street Bridge. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. The dangerous heat and humidity continues, but it's not as extreme. Tuesday, a high of 91, but the heat index again near 100. A little hotter to the south, a little cooler to the north. So the First Alert weather day will continue, but again, the heat's not as extreme. An isolated storm not out of the question Tuesday, but Wednesday we're dry with low humidity, mostly sunny, and a high of 88. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
For the last 33 years, we've discovered that at Banner Construction, we pride ourselves on quality craftsmanship. We believe the single most important decision homeowners must make when considering an exterior restoration project is who do I hire? At Banner, we provide well-engineered, meaningful long-term solutions to transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Let us help you fall in love with your home all over again. Call or visit bannerconstruction.com. and have a banner day.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
Hi, I'm Robert Williams, owner of Auto Art on the Hill. If you own a classic car, Auto Art is your one-stop shop for repair, restoration, and maintenance. For over 35 years, we've helped car enthusiasts and collectors keep their vehicles looking great and running their best so they can drive them. We're also proud to be the home of the award-winning Throttle Squad Car Club. Trust your classic car's mechanical work to the experts at Auto Art. We offer a classic car care program that includes a free annual inspection plus exclusive discounts on any recommended services or repairs. All our work is guaranteed. Visit Auto Art at 5305 Northrop Avenue on the Hill. Online at autoartstl.com.
Mark Lawson with Black Fox Cooper, your local Anderson certified contractor. Like you, I feel the effects of inflation every day. Costs continue to rise. That's why putting off replacing your old windows could cost you more in the future. New Anderson windows can make your home more comfortable, more energy efficient, and more beautiful, while potentially saving you more money on utility bills. At Black Fox Cooper, we specialize in Anderson replacement windows and offer a personalized educational approach we call the Window Room. Don't wait. Improve your home today. Call 314-270-1484. Online, blackfoxcooper.com.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Hi, this is Jason Hughes with TR Hughes Homes, and we are currently offering half off up to $33,000 in options and up to $3,300 in closing costs on brand new to-be-built homes at select TR Hughes communities. That's right, half off up to $33,000 in options and up to $3,300 in closing costs. Visit trhughes.com for details. That's trhughes.com.
The choice of a home builder is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
However, you really should visit trhughes.com.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Boogie Nights.
Saturday Night Fever.
This Saturday Night Fever? I thought it was Boogie Nights.
Might be both.
Sure that's Saturday Night Fever?
It's on the soundtrack.
Is it? That's not a BJ's or
No.
BG's.
It wasn't just BG songs on it.
All right. Right there, we've got Pro Amendment 5 next hour. Let's see here. Text lines. Altair can do anything. They helped my neighbor who are older plan a quick weekend getaway to Branson, and they helped a retired couple. We have gone on 4 world cruises. The cost of the cruise was I can't read that. We went on Altair to Italy and went to the Vatican. We had a hearing impaired person who read lips very well, but because of the crowds, couldn't always hear. I guess I couldn't always. Couldn't always hear, and that was sad. Top notch. Wasn't it just for the primaries the Post was going to stop endorsing people? They talked about it on Donnybrook last week, and I thought they said it was just the primaries. I don't know. I don't watch that drivel on Channel 9.
Also, it was in both movies, originally Saturday Night Fever, but also in Boogie Nights.
Okay, good to know. When the Olympics started allowing pros to compete, the AAU decided to concentrate on youth sports to stay relevant, hence the proliferation of select youth teams. Speaking of auctions, Hope Solo, former guest of the show, is auctioning off her prize memorabilia, including some St. Louis Athletica jerseys.
I love the Athletica.
Bob, stop making excuses. The Cardinals stink, almost as bad as the Mets. No, there's very few that are as bad as the Mets. One of the best videos ever is of the Three Stooges with Curly trying to deliver a big block of ice, and by the time he gets all the way to the top of the stairs, it's just an ice cube. I heard that Lee of Lee's Chickens was a cousin of Colonel Sanders. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's to be true. Also, the TV dinners. Plus, it took 45 minutes to cook. No microwave in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. You put them in the oven?
Or a toaster oven.
Toaster oven. Oh,
Do those things exist?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were horrible.
I didn't understand toaster ovens. You have an oven. What do you need another oven on the counter
Because
for?
in the summer, you don't want to heat up the whole kitchen. And the toaster oven is more compact.
I don't know. But the microwaves, though, they were the size of ovens.
Were they?
Oh, my goodness. The microwave back in the 70s.
And they had a dial.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, they're the size
Oh,
of...
yeah. They were huge.
The size of a TV.
And the dial, I do remember that.
A small TV, a 24-inch Trinitron TV that you'd win on The Price is Right.
And did it come included with like cabinets around it, like the big TVs that were encased in the
I mean,
wood?
it was a monstrosity. My sister has one still, and I'm like, when is this going to the Smithsonian? It still works. I'm like, yeah, I understand it, but it's 50 years old.
My sister used to say, if you look in the microwave as it's going, your eyes will burn off because of the radiation. And till this day, I don't look in the microwave because of that. Like, I'm scared. It's scary. Just don't stare directly into the microwave while it's going.
My
eyes will burn
sisters
off.
told me if you're cross-eyed and someone slaps you in the back, you'll be cross-eyed forever. Did you
Or
ever
they
hear
go
that one?
back. Or I thought if you're cross-eyed and someone kicks you in the back of the head, they'll go back. They'll go back.
Oh,
right.
I was told if you're cross-eyed and someone hits you in the back, it'll stay that way. It's interesting. St.
None
Louis,
of those things are true, by the way.
but you still have to wait 20 minutes after eating to go back into the pool.
Correct.
Also not true.
I love saying that.
It was an hour anyway. What are you talking about?
I
20
love.
minutes.
I mean, that is the dumbest parental thing that's ever been said. Can I go back to? Well, you have to wait 20 minutes till you finish your macaroni and cheese.
People get cramps.
It
You're
doesn't matter
cramping
when they
because
get
you
cramps.
just ate a big burger and it's just chilling your belly and you're trying to swim laps. Like,
Well, they're not trying to swim laps. They just want to go and dive off the diving board. 8:58. Quick check of traffic. Captain Paul, take it away. St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, not much happening on the roads right now. 64 east bogs down around Lindbergh and from McKnight to Big Bend. And in Illinois, 6455 west is slow from 64 to the Poplar Street Bridge. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
One thing, I try to do is not think about all the money I have to spend. But sometimes it goes through your head and you think, I got to buy this, I got to spend money on that. But the money that you spent on your house is probably the biggest single purchase you've ever made. So it makes sense to protect it. And you know what? There might be things going on up top there on the roof that you can't see. Allen Roofing can. They don't even have to go up there. They could send some drones up to have a look, find out the problem, give a diagnosis, sit down with you and say, what shall we do from here to protect that asset of yours that you spent all that money on? It only makes sense, whether it's the roof, whether it's siding, tuck pointing, anything to do with the outside of your house. They will help you protect it. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Mizzou football is coming soon, and the Big 550 is your home for all the action.
Missouri's got an overtime win.
We are KTRS St. Louis.
Every punt.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Inside the Capitol Rotunda right now, a ceremony being held for longtime South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. The funeral service is set for this afternoon at the National Cathedral. Among those invited, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who's been meeting with President Trump at the White House. Here's ABC's Jay O'Brien.
Graham was instrumental in just the final days of his life of pulling together the support in the Senate for a sweeping Russian sanctions bill that the Senate is expected to take up as soon as today. That bill now bears Graham's name. Also in attendance here, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Graham, who was known for his hawkish foreign policy, was a fervent supporter of Israel in wars in Gaza and then later Iran, and he long pushed the U.S. to take military action against the Iranian regime.
A pause in the airstrikes between the U.S. and Iran overnight as diplomatic efforts take center stage. Today is the start of the 6th month in the war. At least 4 tornadoes reported in the Midwest. ABC's Alex Perez is in Menasha, Wisconsin.
In nearby Appleton,
Oh, my God.
debris sent flying as a tornado moved through.
Debris in the air!
AccuWeather storm chasers are tracking the destruction on the highway.
There's massive debris flying in the road.
Cars mangled in sheet metal.
I hope they're okay.
The storm exploding transformers.
Oh, that is good.
Down power lines, leaving more than 500,000 without power across the region Monday as the storms rolled through.
In Japan, the southern part of the country, a major earthquake.
A 6.8 magnitude quake hit just off the southern coast around 4:30 in the afternoon. That was followed by at least 2 smaller quakes. This is about 500 miles southwest of Tokyo. Remote cameras from the area show how strong the tremors have been, and they went on for some time.
ABC's James Longman. In France and Spain, more than 300,000 evacuations because of those fierce wildfires. You're listening to ABC News.
That'll be 84.52.
Perfect. Grab the bags, honey.
Mom, why do you always check your phone before we pay?
I'm just claiming my cash back on the Upside app. Since we're getting the groceries here and we filled up the car on the way, I've already earned enough this morning to pay for that pizza night we're having Friday.
Wait, so the app pays for pizza?
Not exactly, but the cash I earn on stuff we need helps us pay for the stuff we want. It's just a little win for our family every week.
Get more out of your everyday. Upside is the free app that gets you cash back on routine purchases like gas, groceries, and dining out at more than 100,000 locations nationwide. No points, no rebates, just cash back straight to your wallet. Download the free Upside app and use promo code ACT5 to get a $5 bonus on your first purchase. That's promo code ACT5 to get a $5 bonus. Remember, use promo code ACT5.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
84 degrees at 9:03. The search is over for a man who drowned over the weekend in the Missouri River in St. Charles County. Police say the body of 22-year-old A.J. Selke was recovered yesterday afternoon. The search started Sunday night when crews responded to the river near Klondike Park after he was seen struggling in the water. A mysterious death that occurred more than 40 years ago in Rolla is garnering the attention of investigators once again. KTRS's Brendan Wiese has the story.
The Missouri State Highway Patrol's Division of Drug and Crime Control are seeking the public's assistance regarding the death of William Bill Sundermeyer, whose body was found in rural Dent County back in June of 1985. The case has since remained unsolved, and Sundermeyer's family is now offering a monetary reward for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for his death. Investigators believe the evidence and circumstances surrounding the death of the then 68-year-old are suspicious in nature, and that there are individuals who know details about the incident and what happened to Sundermeyer. I'm Brendan Wiese, KTRS News.
The Illinois Department of Agriculture has awarded nearly $4 million in grant funds for local food infrastructure. The Local Food Infrastructure Grant Program was created to strengthen the capacity of Illinois producers and food businesses to store, process, package, aggregate, and distribute locally grown products. Funding supports essential investments that help move Illinois-grown food from farm to consumer while building long-term resilience within the state's food supply chain. The Illinois Manufacturing Excellence Center is bringing back its popular supplier matchmaking program as part of the Global Aerospace Summit. The event will be held on August 20th at the Regency Conference Center in O'Fallon, Illinois. The program offers aerospace manufacturers and suppliers an opportunity to participate in pre-scheduled one-on-one meetings with original equipment manufacturers that have identified specific sourcing needs and are actively seeking new supplier relationships. Companies interested in attending must register by August 10th. Registration is available on the website of the Leadership Council of Southwestern Illinois. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florists, the place for all your floral needs, and you can place your order anytime at WKF.com. And now let's take a look at the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. You can tune into Straight Talk on Retirement on Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 right here on the Big 550. The Dow is up 347 points to 52,600. The S&P is down 17 points to 7,400. And the NASDAQ is down 278 points to 24,700. In KTRS sports, a rain delay at the start could not help change the Cardinals' luck as they fell to the Cubs 7-3 at Busch. Birds slipped back to the 500 mark for the first time since April 13th. And Mizzou basketball has finalized its non-conference schedule for the upcoming season. The Tigers will open at home Tuesday, November 3rd with Cleveland State, followed later that Friday with SLU at Enterprise. The slate around Thanksgiving is a lighter before 5 straight against Pitt, Kansas, Nebraska, Indiana, and Illinois in December. In KTRS Time Saver traffic, let's go to the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center for a look at the roads, where we find Captain Paul Kopsky standing by.
Rose 64 East bogs down around 170. 5570 West is jammed between 255 and Black Lane. And one westbound lane of 64 will be closed intermittently between McKnight and Boone's Crossing until 3 o'clock this afternoon for road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. Dents Express, STL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. In KTRS weather, a heat advisory remains in effect until 7 tonight. Cloudy today with a high of 94. It might feel like 104. Partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 70. And tomorrow, sunny and a bit cooler, high of 87. 84 degrees at 9:07. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer in St. Louis means your air conditioner basically clocks in with a full-time job. And if your AC is 15, 20, or maybe even 25 years old, it could be working a whole lot harder and costing you a whole lot more than it should. A newer, high-efficiency system from Premier Heating and Cooling can cut cooling costs dramatically compared to older units. In some homes, upgrading from a 20-year-old air conditioner to a modern, high-efficiency system can reduce energy use by 20 to 40%. And even a professional clean and check tune-up can improve efficiency, airflow, and help your system keep up during brutal heat waves. Add in a smart thermostat, and the Department of Energy says homeowners can save another 10% a year on heating and cooling costs. So before your old AC taps out during the hottest week of the summer, call the highly trained team at Premier Heating and Cooling. Financing options available. 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Congress doesn't need more politicians. For nearly 30 years, Joan Von Dross dedicated her life to helping students learn, grow, and succeed. Now she's running for Congress to fight for lower healthcare costs, stronger public schools, and a more affordable future for Missouri families. Teachers solve problems. Politicians play politics.
I'm Joan Von Dross, Democrat from Missouri CD2, and I approve this message. Vote for me on August 4th.
Paid for by Von Dross for Congress.
Mom, what do you always say? There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer. That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newssetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry and Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
Hi, it's Julie Buck to tell you about a trusted family business that I've been working with for years, Easter Fence and Deck. Check Chuck Easter and his family have been the go-to fence and deck company in the St. Louis area for more than 70 years. And when it comes to sunrooms, Easter Fence and Deck offers the top-of-the-line Better Living sunrooms that are absolutely spectacular. When it comes to fences, decks, and sunrooms, I would invite you to do what my family has done for years and trust the family-owned Easter Fence and Deck online at easterfence.com.
Friday, August 28th, the Shrine of Our Lady of the Snows presents the When Mental Illness Hits Home conference, Mental Health Through the Ages. Learn how to provide support for the mental health of your loved one, whether an adolescent, college age, or a senior, and how to access insurance coverage for mental health services. When Mental Illness Hits Home. Friday, August 28th from 9 to 3 in the Shrine Visitor Center. Visit snows.org/illness 2026. That's snows.org/illness 2026.
This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
Live and local.
Depend on it. This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right, 1 week from today, the voting will end. We're in the no excuse absentee voting right now, and then next Tuesday is Election Day. One of the things you're going to vote on in the state of Missouri is Amendment 5. The governor wants to do away with the state income tax. It's garnered quite a lot of attention. We've had members and guests who are pro and who are con. Aaron Hedlund joins us, member of the White House Council of Economic Advisors, pro Amendment 5. Aaron, welcome to America, and welcome to where am I? KTRS Radio. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Great to join you.
All right, let's get right to it. The overarching philosophy is what? Why is this a better deal for Missouri?
Well, the philosophy is we need to grow the economy in Missouri. For the past 25 years, Missouri has generally been in the bottom 10 in the country when it comes to how quickly wages are rising. And that's because, unfortunately, our tax code is antiquated. It's nearly 100 years old. And when you compare how well Missouri has done compared to places like Tennessee and also Texas and Florida, they're kicking dirt in our face. Those are the no-income tax states. That's where the businesses are going. That's where the jobs are going. That's where people's paychecks are growing. And that's what Missouri can achieve with Amendment 5.
Okay, so what? Let's say the income tax goes away. All of a sudden, businesses are going to look to Missouri as a better place to do business. Why? Why is the income tax for their employers or their employees? Why is that such a benefit to get these people or move to?
Yeah, so the Council of Economic Advisors, we put out a study in January that surveyed extensive evidence, a lot of data, a lot of other studies, and really concluded that the income tax is the most damaging form of tax because it directly penalizes investment, it directly penalizes work, and whenever taxes penalize something, you get less of it. And that's why you see these other states, they're getting more investment, they're getting more job growth, they're getting higher wages. And there's an important part of Amendment 5 that isn't discussed quite as much, which is that it has revenue growth triggers, which simultaneously make it fiscally responsible. And that actually limits government because right now, whenever the economy grows in Missouri, the government grows. With Amendment 5, the revenue growth triggers prevent the budget from gobbling up that growth, and those savings go back to Missourians' pockets.
Okay, so explain that. So as the revenue grows, explain that again.
Yeah, so let's look at the next decade, right? Because Amendment 5 doesn't turn off the income tax overnight. It's a phase out. So over the next decade, the total dollar value of the economy in Missouri is likely to grow between 40 and 50%. Not per year, but over the course of a decade. What Amendment 5 says is the budget will not be allowed to grow 40 and 50%. The budget would only be able to grow much less than that. So that difference between the economy growing and the budget not growing, that savings goes back to Missourians in the form of lower income tax and ultimately a 0% income tax. So that's something there's been a lot of discussion about tax swaps and revenue swaps, and that misses the point because look at what's happened over the past decade. Right? The income tax has come down from 6 to 4.7% without any sales tax changes, and that's because of revenue growth triggers. Amendment 5 takes that same proven recipe, supercharges it, and takes us to zero.
Part of the advertising and part of the reasons to vote for Amendment 5 is that it will reduce our property tax. How would it reduce our property tax?
Yeah, so another element of Amendment 5 is it allows us to have a more uniform sales tax base. Right? Up until 2016, there was much more flexibility to modify the sales tax base as the economy changed. That hasn't been the case for the past several years. So what Amendment 5 would do is they'd say, okay, we can have a flexibility to modify the sales tax base, but with a really important guardrail, which is that if it's changed, every single dollar of revenue that would come through that has to go back to Missourians' pockets in the form of tax cuts. Now, where does that come to property taxes? At the local level, if you have a broader sales tax base, the localities would not be allowed to keep the money. They'd have to return it to Missourians, and they'd have basically two choices. They could lower their sales tax rate, which means that if you live in a town that maybe has a 4% sales tax, it goes down to 2%, or they can cut property taxes.
Got it. You mentioned earlier, if you tax income, you'll have less of it, right? You said that, right? That was part of the...
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. So if that's true, then if you tax sales, would you have less sales?
Well, the problem is the income tax taxes both of those. So if you think about a typical worker, their same dollar is taxed over and over again. Right? If they work for a business that makes things, that business is probably subject to both an income and sales tax. Then the worker gets their paycheck, and that's taxed. Then they drive to the store, they're taxed again. And by the way, the car that they drove to the store in is taxed every year. And then when they bring the goods home, they're taxed in their home every year. So the same dollar keeps getting taxed over and over. Right? With a consumption tax or sales tax, because we have to bring revenue in somehow, you don't have that kind of double penalty every single time. And that's what allows the economy to grow without being kind of the stranglehold of the income tax.
Yeah. There's quite a number of seniors who've called up the show who are against this because they say, oh, wait a minute, I don't even pay income tax. Why would I vote for this? I'm not going to get a tax break, and whatever other taxes I pay along the way are going to go up. This isn't going to benefit me at all.
Well, first of all, I mean, last time I checked, Florida, Tennessee, Texas has quite a bit of retirees. They're not leaving those states to flock to Missouri. But Amendment 5 does several things for them. For one, some of them do get other sources of income, and it does reduce the income tax and eliminate it on those. And even the Social Security, stuff which is currently exempt, nothing stops the legislature from reversing that. Right? Amendment 5 would kind of put that permanently into a 0% zone. Secondly, when they go to the store right now, a lot of the sales tax they pay on things like groceries is at the local level. And with Amendment 5, that grocery rate can go down, and the rate on a lot of the necessities can go down because it shifts towards things like, money managers and other high-end services, which currently have a favoritism status, which does not work to the benefit of seniors. The other thing I'd point out is healthcare. Right now, healthcare is taxed by the income tax. So that affects doctors, affects nurses, affects providers. And therefore, there are fewer of them here compared to where they could go where there's no income tax. When you go to Amendment 5, healthcare is completely untaxed, no sales tax or income tax. So if you're a senior who's got various medical conditions and sometimes it's a long wait to get to a doctor, that gets better under Amendment 5.
What do you mean by healthcare is taxed? You mean because the doctor's income is taxed? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, the doctors and the nurses and all the providers. So you take that away, you get more of those providers here in the state.
Yeah. All right. The other argument against it is, wait a minute, we're going to do away with the income tax. Great. But we're allowing the legislature to decide how they want to make up that revenue in the future. I'm not so sure I want to give that power to a bunch of people who aren't even elected yet.
I mean, I wouldn't want to give the legislature more power either. But Amendment 5 doesn't give them more power. It actually takes it away. So let me explain how that works. First of all, up until 2016, the legislature had the ability to tax goods or services. Like the flexibility was there to change the sales tax, and you had no doomsday scenario. So these doomsday scenarios that are coming out, I mean, it never materialized in the past. Secondly, the legislature right now, without Amendment 5, has the ability to change sales tax rates. So anyone who's saying that Amendment 5 means a higher sales tax rate, they're hearing things wrong, because that has nothing to do with Amendment 5. The legislature could do it now. Secondly, under the current law, under the current constitutional rules, the legislature can increase the total tax burden by up to $150 million per year without a public vote. Whereas with Amendment 5, any sales tax-based changes have to be 100% at least offset in the form of lower income taxes and lower property taxes and lower local sales tax rates. And then I'd go back to my point earlier, which is the key, the central ingredient of Amendment 5 is these revenue growth triggers that control spending. So as the economy grows and revenues grow, Jefferson City cannot keep that money. So it's not a cut, but they can't grow. And the savings from that, that's what goes back to Missourians' pockets.
Where does the state get the $9 billion hole when it does away with the income tax?
So there would only be a hole if you turned off the income tax overnight, right? But that's not what Amendment 5 does. What Amendment 5 does is it says, let's keep the budget steady instead of growing. And therefore, over the next decade, as the economy grows in total by about 40 or 50%, all of those other revenue sources grow by 40 or 50%. And you can use that to replace the income tax over time. And then you can accelerate the process by broadening the sales tax base, which right now covers about 30% of consumer spending, and 70%, including a lot of high-end services, is exempt. You could just expand that to 50%. You still keep, groceries don't get taxed by the state. There's no housing taxes. There's no healthcare taxes, all those sorts of things. You keep the rate competitive, and that can get you to zero in less than a decade. But the key thing is the overall burden is going down because of those revenue growth triggers that prevent the government from growing. Because everyone should know the state budget doubled from 2019, or just about doubled from 2019 until now. I don't know anybody who thinks we're getting twice the government or twice the government quality that we got back then. So this prevents that and passes the savings back to taxpayers.
Aaron Hedlund, our guest, for a couple more minutes. He's a member of the White House Council of Economic Advisors. He's talking about Amendment 5 that's on the ballot that people are voting on right now, and, of course, Election Day. There are businesses out there that I've heard from that are worried that the state legislature is going to exempt certain businesses, and the sales tax or the use tax or the labor tax, whatever else that is sort of put on this, it'll fall to the small business owner, and they are very much against balancing the budget on the backs of their small businesses. What do you say to them?
Yeah, there's no scenario where the burden can go up on small businesses, because small businesses pay the income tax. So if you get rid of the income tax, they're no longer penalized. And that's really important for small businesses, because when they're looking to expand or grow, right now they have to use after-tax dollars, right? The government has already taken a chunk out of their bottom lines, which leaves them less to expand and grow. With Amendment 5, all that investment is 100% tax-free. That's why if you look towards other states, they can show the way. I mean, Tennessee 25 years ago was about the same population as Missouri, and the average incomes were a little bit lower. Now Tennessee has 1 million plus more people than us, and their incomes are higher. This is not because there's been a sudden rush of interest in honky tonk or country music. This has been across the state, much more economic growth. And it's not just there, it's many of these other states as well.
Did Tennessee 25 years ago do away with their income tax?
Well, Tennessee has done away with what they call the Hall tax in recent years. So that's kind of accelerated the full income tax elimination. But they've benefited from not taxing wages for quite a while as well. If you look at states that introduced an income tax, let's say post-1960, you get states like Illinois, you get other states, Connecticut, you have various other states. They've done extremely poorly compared to the states that have not had an income tax. And especially in the past decade or so, as more and more Americans are relocating and post-COVID thinking about where they want to live, Missouri hasn't really benefited from that. I mean, how many New York Times articles have there been about people rushing to Missouri because that's the place to be? Zero. It's because they're rushing to the other states. And unfortunately, that means that even Missourians are leaving. If you look in the past several years, something like 70% more Missourians have moved to Tennessee compared to the number of Tennesseans who moved to Missouri. So that's telling you something.
Yeah. Go back to the small business for a second. I think the small businesses are worried that a sales tax is going to be on their service or their business that doesn't exist today, or a use tax or a labor tax is going to be on their small business today, as opposed to if this passes, as opposed to it is today. What do you say to that small business owner?
Yeah, well, I'd say worst case scenario is still good for them. The worst case scenario for them is one in which they don't have an income tax, but maybe a sales tax applies to the service that they sell to customers. And keep in mind that this is not business-to-business transactions. This is just final consumer spending. Even in that scenario, it's not really just a swap, because the investment that the business does is untaxed, whereas right now it is. And then if you're many other businesses, you would have a situation where there's probably no sales tax and no income tax. Because remember, what we've done over the past decade is the income tax has come down from 6 to 4.7. Without Amendment 5, that's going to flatline at 4.5 and never going to go lower. Amendment 5 takes that proven recipe, juices it up, and keeps it in place until we get all the way to zero.
Aaron Hedlund with us. A couple more questions for you. One of the criticisms, one of the anti-arguments of Amendment 5 is this is very beneficial to the upper class, to the well-to-do, to the wealthy. However, it's going to be more of a burden for the working class. How do you respond to that?
So first of all, Missouri's income tax is pretty flat. This is not like the federal tax code where tax rates rapidly rise with income. It's pretty flat. So that, a large majority of Missourians do in fact pay the income tax. The top rate you hit when you have $9,000 of income. The other thing I'd point out, though, is it's really important to include the impact of economic growth. If economic growth was taken off the table, then you could always advocate for a California-style tax where we just load up really, really high tax rates on the top with the idea that maybe it helps the poor. The problem is we know it doesn't help the poor. Right? In places like that, it drives the businesses away. And when the businesses are gone, the job opportunity is gone, and then the wages aren't there, and cost of living goes up. So this is about how do we make sure we get businesses here growing, bidding up people's wages, right? Because we look at Missouri wages compared to other states' wages, we're kind of a lowish wage state. Is that just bad luck? And is there something in the dirt or the water? No, it's not bad luck. It's because we don't have a strong enough economy. We don't have enough interest for businesses to come here. We get more of those, people get paid more.
But 4.7% is a pretty low income tax to begin with, is it not, when you're compared to other states?
It's moderate. I mean, it's certainly better than it was. 6% was on the higher end, and it's been progress to get it down to 4.7. But North Carolina is cutting, Indiana is cutting, Arizona is cutting. I mean, there's various states, and then our neighbors are cutting. And of course, Tennessee is one of our neighbors, and they're at zero. So this is one of those things where standing still is not an option. And frankly, why would you want to stand still? I mean, again, we've been bottom 10 overall over the past 25 years. This is not a successful approach. Right? We need to do something different. And this is not experimental. This is based on proven success and a fiscally responsible plan and the evidence we've seen over the past 10 years and building upon that.
Aaron, last question for you. There's somebody out there who's saying, okay, yeah, Texas is growing, Tennessee is growing, Florida's growing for lots of reasons, not just there is no state income tax. Explain to them why the income tax is the linchpin and not all the other reasons, oil, better weather, Nashville, whatever else. Why is it just the no income tax is the linchpin to all this?
Because when you look at several of these states, I mean, even South Dakota, several of these states that are no income tax are all massively beating Missouri. So it becomes a situation where it's not one factor, right? When all these different states are all beating us, the common denominator with those is that they don't have an income tax, because that is the tax that penalizes the entrepreneurs. That's the tax that penalizes the workers who right now in Missouri are taxed over and over again. So that's the common thing. And when I hear things about Texas, right? Texas oil is actually a relatively small share of their economy. Every day it seems like we hear about a business moving to Dallas. I'm not aware of many oil fields in Dallas, Texas. I mean, similarly, Nashville, Nashville doesn't have anything inherent that we couldn't have. It's not country music that's driving their economy. It's a diverse industry base. And similarly with Florida, the state's doing very well. People talk about tourism, but that's still actually a relatively small share of their economy. The common factor is that they don't have an income tax, and that's where people and jobs and wages are going.
Did you say you don't hear about oil fields in Texas? Did you misspeak there, or did I mishear you?
No, in Dallas. And obviously, there is
okay.
some oil in Texas, but like Texas is actually a very diversified economy. It's becoming a financial hub. It's not just some sort of oil economy, and that's why, unfortunately, we hear about businesses moving from various parts of the state to Texas.
Yeah. Aaron Hedlund with us, member of the White House Council of Economic Advisors. Anything else I haven't asked you? Anything else you want to get across?
I would just say, if you want to grow the economy and if you want to limit politicians by preventing the government from growing and passing the savings to taxpayers, that's what Amendment 5 achieves.
Aaron Hedlund, member of the White House Council of Economic Advisors. Aaron, thanks for your day. Have a good day. Safe travels on the trail.
Thanks for having me on.
You got it. America at Night. Back in a moment. It's not America at night. It's America. It's St. Louis in the morning. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, no accidents or slow traffic right now. Just a couple of construction notes. One westbound lane of 64 will be closed intermittently between McKnight and Boone's Crossing until 3 o'clock this afternoon for road work. And MoDOT is closing all lanes of 64 west at the 70 interchange, as well as the ramp from 70 east to 61 north from 9 p.m. until 5 a.m. each night through Thursday for road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's talk Country Club Car Wash, because you need to clean that car, and the summer grime and the fast food wrappers and the salt and maybe a couple of French fries have snuck down there. Okay, wait a minute, I'm talking about my car. Country Club Car Wash is where you go to get everything cleaned up. The summer sparkler promotion continues until further notice. Here's what you get when you go to Country Club Car Wash. 5 area locations. Buy 2 ultimate washes, get 2 more for free. That's a total of 4 ultimate exterior washes for only $52. That's just over $10 for a full exterior wash. That's everything. The wax, the undercarriage, the overcarriage, and everything. That's a pretty good deal. $10 for a full ultimate exterior wash. Listen to this. It gets better. $92 will get you 4 ultimate exterior washes with interior cleaning as well. So that's just a little over $20, and you get a full indoor-outdoor deal for the car. That's the way to do it right there. In-store or online, Country Club Car Wash. They're all attached to mobile on the runs. There's 5 of them. Make sure you check out Country Club, because if it's not Country Club, it ain't local. So stick with Country Club Car Wash. CCCWSTL.com. And the summer sparkler promotion continues. CCCWSTL.com.
A native of St. Louis, a graduate of Country Day, 3 decades of broadcasting in the MLB,
and the Cardinals have won this game 5-4,
and the NFL.
Patriots win the Super Bowl!
And now host of the upcoming ESPN Jeopardy! The Big 550 congratulates the induction of Joe Buck into the National Baseball Hall of Fame, receiving the Ford C. Frick Award. Joe and his dad, legendary Cardinal play-by-play broadcaster Jack Buck,
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
are the first father and son duo to be inducted. Our very own KTRS Julie Buck could not be prouder of her brother. Congrats to the entire Buck family. We are the talk of St. Louis, the Big 550, KTRS.
St. Louis is a city, but let's face it, it's also a small town, and we all know it, especially Indoor Comfort Team. Since their beginning in 1979, Indoor Comfort Team Heating and Air Conditioning has served their neighbors with old-school honesty and integrity. Fair and common sense pricing, and fast, reliable service with real human support. When you call them, whether you need a second opinion or a whole new HVAC system, you get a real human being on the other line. No AI, no robot answer machines. From HVAC installations to repairs, even water heaters, Indoor Comfort Team will take care of you. And with summer already upon us, maybe it's time to get that air conditioner checked out. Indoor Comfort Team takes care of our community because they're part of our community. Check them out today at indoorcomfortteam.com. You can also call them at 314-894-8200.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Why leave home for vacation when your favorite destination could be your own backyard? Hi, this is Dan Head, owner of Patriot Builds. Transform your deck or patio into the perfect place to relax and make memories with the Patriot sunroom, screen room, patio cover, power shades, outdoor kitchen, and much more. Our employee craftsmen have helped over 10,000 homeowners create stunning backyard living spaces. Save thousands with a free insulated roof upgrade. Call today for your free design consultation, 314-822-3232, or click patriotbuildsstl.com or visit our showroom at 811 South Kirkwood Road.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com. On the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, Carl is gone. We pulled Carl. It's the 4th inning of the game. Carl, the starter, only goes about 4 and 2/3. Connor is coming in from the bullpen. He's got to face 3 batters to finish the game. So we're working with a handicap today. We're going to limp to the finish line with Connor McCarthy. Carl had to go watch Spider-Man, apparently, and they only had a 10 o'clock showing.
The 10 a.m. showing. That's an early one.
I know. Well, God love him. Country Club Car Wash. What? Government spending in Missouri doubled in the last 7 years? Didn't our Republican supermajority promise smaller government a decade ago? Don't be fooled again. This is all doublespeak. Do yourself a favor and make a sign to look at that has the name of your radio station on it and the names of the hosts of the next show, so you don't keep saying you're doing the night show and Frank Opinion is coming up next. As far as the problem that you can't read a clock correctly, I can't think of anything to help you. I did say Frank Opinion yesterday. I apologize. I'm doing. You try doing 2 shows a day.
What year is it? Frank Opinion coming on?
Well, Frank, I'm just so used to Frank. It's, let's see here. An example of what he said, my bro-in-law works for Hardee's, and they relocated their headquarters from St. Louis to Nashville for no income tax. Until state and local governments learn to cut spending, cutting taxes is never going to work. It's just a shell game. People will never win. This guy is out to lunch. He's all about taxes are hurting us all. That's not it. The one thing Texas, Tennessee, Florida has that Missouri doesn't. Sorry, Missouri doesn't have Missouri doesn't have tourism. No one comes to Missouri for a vacation, and the only people who vacation there are those already living here. Seriously, I don't know. My sister's coming next week to spend 3 weeks in St. Louis. So people come to Missouri to visit all the time. Jim, line 1, you're the Big 550 KTRS. Good morning.
Good morning. I don't think you could have picked a worse person to ask than somebody from the White House Council of Economic Advisors when you see how far underwater these guys are on the economy. And but you sure have a very, very contrived plan. I mean, all this mumbo jumbo. I won't get back into what all he said, except for I will address one of his major points, that being economic growth. Oh, it's so important. Yes, it is. And let's talk about economic growth where it happens, like California, who happens to have taxes, and kind of in a major way, more than we do. Now, let's think of who came out of California here lately. Oh, I think you got Palantir, you got Tesla, you got the guys at Lam Research, you've got NVIDIA. And what did they do to grow their companies, make themselves successful, and be so impressive? They have a good they spend a lot on education. They got a very educated and solid, chock-full workforce that allowed them to do that. They piggybacked. They took the startup cash that California offered. California had a whole different plan that created immense wealth, opportunity, and growth. What that man you just spoke with, what he's talking about, nonsense. And also, they're going to have to collect this sales tax revenue from the people where these points of sales are made. And that is so open to fraud.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. They do that now.
They do that now. And I don't think you want to. Are you going to really bank on the state getting its revenue from a sales tax system that a lot of it goes unreported? I don't know.
I don't know about that. I mean, no. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Jim. If you're going to a business and it's cash only, all right. Yeah. But how many businesses are cash only these days? I can't think of. I mean, there were a couple of bars along the way. Maybe there's a bar or two that's one of the last holdouts. But cash is, very rarely is anything done in cash anymore. It's all credit card, and once it's a credit card, it's in the system, and you're off and running. Not to mention, all the local municipalities are all funded by sales tax, so they're getting paid.
I'm smelling notes and in the whiffs. I'm smelling notes of the Colombo crime family and the gas tax scam.
What?
The Colombo crime family and the gas tax scam. That's what that mobster Michael Franzese did.
Okay. Why? Because wait. Why? Because sales tax is about as regulated. I mean, every time you swipe your credit card into the machine, it's all done. It's all computerized, so no one's paying cash anymore. So therefore, to off the books is like an unheard of term. Yes, it still happens. I get it. But for that matter,
bottom line, if you want economic growth, follow the California model, and don't fall for fraudsters and scam artists that are in the White House Council of Economic Advisors.
All right, Jim.
You got two eyes. You can read.
Thanks, Jim.
You
Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Jim. Have a good day. For that matter, let's talk about the illegal worlds that are out there. Whether it's drugs or something else nefarious going on. I don't know the drug dealer is actually paying income tax right now on the money he makes from the income on the sale of the drugs. But the drug addict goes and buys, something, groceries, that money he earned is then taxed, right? So that's a way for the illegal trade to be taxed in some way, shape, or form. Speaking of that, yesterday I was at a convenience store, and I just happened to ask. I was like, hey, out of curiosity, how much is a pack of cigarettes? The guy said, how much, what kind? I was like, Marlboro Lights, even though they're not called Marlboro Lights anymore. Do you know a pack of Marlboro cigarettes today is $11 for a pack of cigarettes?
Is that high to you?
Well, yeah, I would think so. Yeah. In Washington, D.C., they're like
used to be?
$14, $15.
Missouri's actually some of the cheapest cigarettes in the country.
Missouri has the cheapest cigarette tax going. Yeah. You have to wonder if they would raise the $9 billion off the cigarette tax if they do that. or raise the tax on gambling, or raise the tax on lotteries or whatever else. I think they should raise the tax on lotteries because I'm not going to win anyway. So you give somebody $1 billion, give them $900 million.
What if they just taxed everyone based off of what they made?
Yeah, that's not going to work.
That's not.
Why don't they tax everybody
crazy.
on what they spend? Because if you don't spend it, you can't get taxed on it. But $11 for a pack of cigarettes. I remember my uncle Georgie said when it hits $1, he's quitting smoking, and I think he did it when it hit.
Really?
Yeah, but
$1 was too much.
I was a kid, and I remember we were at Action Park, and he said when it hits $1, I'm quitting, and it hit $1, and he quit. But $11 for a pack of cigarettes. You know, every once in a while, people be like, "Hey, let me bum a cigarette from you." I mean, if someone bums a cigarette from you, I want your Venmo account. Vend me some money here.
You want the dollar?
I want something. $11 for a pack of cigarettes? I mean, an $8 latte is ridiculous, but $11 for a cigarette? That's crazy stuff. All right. 314-931-5877. Text your comments to 84126. McGraw, I love it when you try to educate your listeners. Unfortunately, they are narrow-minded and they know more than everyone else. So sad that Missouri is on the decline at a steady pace. People here need to wake up. The minder here is that everyone is out to get them. Won't be staying here much longer. When my kids' cigarettes only cost $1.75 for one pack, $11, and smoking is making a big comeback. Apparently, lots of farmers still pay using cash only. True, but they're going to the grocery store paying cash. So that's if a farmer is going to the drug dealer and using cash, that's off the books, right? If the farmer is paying an undocumented worker cash, that's off the books, right? That's not, Social Security tax, payroll tax, all those types of things. But when that under-the-table worker goes to the restaurant, that's when you're collecting the tax. So the sales tax, the income tax is being avoided by some people, but we're all being caught on the sales tax side of it. That was the point I was making. Missouri doesn't have tourism. Apparently, the texter has never been to Lake of the Ozarks or Branson. 3 and 4. Just admit it, McGraw. You're an idiot. I have been well documented that I am an idiot. That is obvious. Reese Nichols is where you want to go for your real estate needs. Buying or selling. You need an experienced team. Man, buying or selling today is not easy. It is a very difficult situation because you've got to, first let's start with the appraisal. There's many ways you can appraise a property. You can appraise it wrong. You can appraise it right. You can appraise it up or down. It's not a science. It's an art form. You need expertise in the industry. You don't want to price it too low. You surely don't want to price it too high. Whether you're buying a house, you're competing with 6, 7, 10, 12 other buyers, 4 or 5 different offers. Things go so fast, you can't even keep your head on. Reese Nichols understands all of this. That's why they have experienced agents and have experienced agents. The name is new, but the agents are all the same. So when you see a sign, when you see a logo, or you see an agent from Reese Nichols, just know that they're St. Louis. They're well experienced. They know how to handle any current situation. They're also big supporters of all sorts of local St. Louis charities, including the Ronald McDonald House, big supporters of the Ronald McDonald House. Every time you close with a Reese Nichols agent, know a portion of that proceeds, a portion of that commission goes right into helping out Ronald McDonald House. So for all of your real estate needs, buying and selling, Reese Nichols or ReeseNichols.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Looking for your next favorite place? Head to Big Chief's Roadhouse on historic Route 66 in Wildwood. Relax on the beautiful patio, discover the hidden speakeasy, and enjoy fresh garden-to-table flavors straight from Big Chief's own gardens. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or drinks with friends, there's something for everyone. Visit BigChiefSTL.com, call 636-458-3200, or stop by today and experience one of Route 66 true dining destinations at Big Chief Roadhouse on Route 66.
Calling all Metro East residents. The weather may be unpredictable, but that doesn't mean your home comfort has to be. From emergency heating and cooling emergencies and repairs to new systems and yearly maintenance checks, you can feel confident that you're ready for whatever Mother Nature throws at you with the help from the friends at Viviano. Get quality, reliable service every time, any season. Go to their website, VivianoAir.com. That's VivianoAir.com. Train, the most reliable name in heating and cooling around. It's hard to stop a train.
It's the GOAT, the greatest of all trade-in events at HW Kia. Bring your trade now and get up to $5,000 over book value for it. If your trade is old, tired, stinky, or being held together by duct tape and a prayer, HW Kia wants it. Paid off or not, bring that old goat in to HW Kia. Then drive home a new HW Kia K4 for just $189 a month. Yes, only $189 a month on a 24-month lease. It's the HW Kia GOAT event. The greatest of all trade-in events. Get up to $5,000 over book value for your trade. New K4. Kia in the heart of West County on Manchester Road. And remember, Big D wants to see ya in an HW Kia. Start now at hwkia.com. With approved credit to well-qualified buyers through Kia Finance. 2026 K4, $36.95 due at signing. Discount includes $850 in lease cash. 10,000 miles per year. No security deposit. Plus tax, title, license, and admin. Fee expires 7/31/26.
All July long, we're making room for new inventory with special blowout pricing on select new 2026 RVs. Don't miss this once-in-a-decade opportunity to save on travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and motorhomes. We may never see pricing this low again. Shop our huge selection and remember, at Byerly RV, the price you see is the price you pay with no additional dealer fees. Don't miss the 2026 model year blowout going on all month long at Byerly RV in Eureka.
Back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, text line is crazy. Lotto is mostly Missouri and visiting. I don't know what that means. It means if lottery is mostly Missouri and visiting Missourians. I think you're trying to say that it's a voluntary tax. You choose to play the lottery. No one's forcing you to play the lottery. So if you want to play the lottery, knock yourself out. I would say raise the lottery tax. But that's just me. I don't know if you can do that. I don't know how you would do that. I don't believe anything in the White House and any Republican politician. They lost my trust. Tourism not important to Missouri. It's among Missouri's top 10 industries. I missed part of your discussion on Amendment 5. Why is education so against it? Yeah, good question. I think, is education against it? I know Missouri realtors are against it. I don't know where I guess, yeah, I don't know if it's a philosophical difference or what, but I guess they're against it. Your sister's coming to visit because they're from here. The Ozarks are not the Blue Ridge Mountains. St. Louis is not Nashville. Fix the cities and they will come. Well, I think the argument for the people who are for it are saying we're trying to fix the cities. We're trying to incentivize businesses to come here. And if there's no sales tax, it would incentivize businesses, no income tax. It would incentivize businesses to come here. thus fixing the cities. And then if this isn't the fix, and it's not for me to, what do I know? But if this isn't the fix, what do you do to fix the stagnant economies, the stagnant population growth, the stagnant nature of Missouri? What do you do? If this isn't it, if this is a bad idea and you were mayor for a day or governor for a day, what would you do to solve the impending problems? My husband volunteers at the old Cathedral Museum, which is on the way to the Arch. There are people from all different states and countries. Yeah, the Arch, 3 million people visit the Arch every year from all over the place. $11 for a pack of 20 legal cigarettes compared to $19 for a pack of 3 legal joints. Think of that. Lake of the Ozarks and Branson together do not hold a candle to the tourism revenue of Nashville. Nice try. I guess the one thing that most people aren't talking about is whether the tax change is the fact that we would never be able to vote on it again. That's super concerning. I know that's a big talking point, but you would have to. They're doing away with the income tax. We could vote to have an income tax again. So the only way to get it back on the ballot or back as again, you'd have to vote on it. So I don't understand what the argument is. Was Action Park the place that injured thousands of people? Yes, Action Park was exactly that. My uncle Georgie took us to Action Park, I think once or twice, and I still have the scars. There was a documentary somewhere along the way. I saw it somewhere, and it was as bad as advertised. It was. I don't think OSHA ever got around to Action Park. It was bonkers. It was somewhere in Jersey. It was a good, hour and a half ride, and you'd go there from Long Island. You'd spend all day, and it was a thing. Paid $22 for a pack of smokes in San Francisco. I don't smoke much. Yeah, I would hope not. I remember when $2 got my mom a pack of smokes and me a pack of baseball cards. Oh, those are the days. Uncle Charlie sent me up to McClellan's to get me a pack of Marlboro Reds and get yourself some baseball cards. Take $1 off of the dresser, and you'd walk up to the pharmacy. Pack of Caramel Reds, and here's a Reggie bar. Okay. No, that was ever possible. All right, we're done. Frank Cusimano comes your way next. St. Louis in the morning. America at night, but St. Louis in the morning. Thanks for putting up with me. We'll see you tomorrow.
The Frank and Jill Show.
Hi, this is Frank Cusimano from the Frank and Jill Show. Join us for Tuesday's program at 10 o'clock. Dr. Rick will stop by. We'll talk a little health, fitness, and all of your medical needs. And we'll also talk politics and local news with Joe Holloman from the Post-Dispatch. It's the Frank and Jill Show on Tuesday at 10 o'clock.
Frank Cusimano and Jill Farmer, weekdays 10 to noon, right here on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
The Big 550 KTRS is proud to be celebrating 30 years of being the talk of St. Louis and looking forward to another 30 years. But we want to hear from you and get your thoughts on what you like and don't like and what we can do better.
Go to KTRS.com or to the KTRS app and take our 30th anniversary listener survey.
We thank you in advance, and once you take the survey, you'll be registered for a chance to win one of 5 $200 Visa gift cards from the Big 550, the talk of St. Louis. Carney, Buck.
Tuesday on the Carney and Buck Show, we'll check in with Dan Morin and talk all things tech. It's Restaurant Tuesday with our pal George Mahey of St. Louis Magazine. And, of course, we'll talk sports with Frank Cusimano. It all starts at noon.
John Carney, Julie Buck, weekdays at noon on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
We are Heidi Glaus, Josh Gilbert, and Bob Ramsey.
On our Tuesday show, we'll talk about the tax holiday. What can you save on On our next show, we'll talk about the tax holiday, what you can save on in Missouri and Illinois. How does it all work? Plus the headlines with St. Louis Business Journal's editor, Eric Seamers.
Heidi Glaus, Josh Gilbert, and Bob Ramsey. Weekday afternoons at 3 on the Big 550.
Always current and always on.
KTRS. News, weather, traffic, sports, and live local talk. This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
Streaming live at KTRS.com.
Depend on it.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Today marks the beginning of the 6th month of the Iran war. Airstrikes halted for now in hopes that diplomacy toward a ceasefire might succeed. Someone who is a big supporter of that conflict and the one in Ukraine, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, who is being honored at a Capitol ceremony this hour in the Rotunda. In attendance, Vice President J.D. Vance.
Lindsey Graham loved people from all walks of life, I think in part because of the way that he grew up, because of the fact that he wasn't handed everything. He was fascinated in everybody.
ABC's Jay O'Brien has more.
Graham will be eulogized here at the National Cathedral by his close friend, President Donald Trump, who has said that the South Carolina Republican was like family to him. Graham died suddenly just about 2 weeks ago due to heart complications. He had just returned from a trip to Ukraine where he met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Zelensky will be here in attendance for Graham's funeral today in honor, he says, for Graham's steadfast support for his country and its defense against Russia.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu also at the White House and to attend Graham's funeral today. How are you feeling about the economy right now? Consumer confidence a bit shaky, says ABC's Jim Ryan.
The Conference Board asked